Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. Oh, guys, we got a good one today. This, of course, is Titans talking toys. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to keep working on that. Of course, my name is Jay. Welcome to the channel, everybody. We got a really good one today, but I can't do this on my own, so I want to bring in my very good friend. You know him; he is the boss here at Titan Toys. Guys, please help me welcome my very good friend, and of course, my traveling partner. Everything in the world. It is Danny Green. What's going on, Danny?
Hey, Jay, what up?
How are you doing today, Danny? Everything good?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to today, so that's great.
That's freaking awesome. I'm excited. I'm absolutely thrilled. Before we get started, what's happening at Titan? Anything new going on? Did we get any new releases? What's
man, a bunch of Joes just came in. Was it the Mega Man, the 3-0?
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that came in, man. So keep a look up on the new arrivals on the website, right?
Well, we're gonna get to that later on in the segment, probably later on in the show. But today we have something really very exciting. Seriously, Danny, Independence. All right, independent toys.
Yes,
are freaking killing it. I mean,
I'm a fan.
Myself, Hatter, and the whole Flip or team.
Yep.
We were able to successfully fund our action figure late last year. It was a crazy campaign. Just had its ups and downs, and we talked about the Curse of Undead just last week.
Yes,
right. We did some really great stuff. They
huge.
did an incredible campaign.
Yeah.
Literally talk about football.
Yeah,
right. It was a Hail Mary finish.
Right.
But what a finish, right? It was just
so
beautiful
good. And well deserved,
right?
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget, guys, the Super Bowl's this weekend, so the big game is coming. So don't forget about that.
Isn't that the Swifty Bowl or something like that?
Swifty Bowl. Are you a football fan, Danny? Not really. Right?
Well, I think it's rigged all the time. Anyways, you didn't hear that from me. Sorry.
Oh my God, the thing. You know what? AI was really on its own when that happened. Like right? I've never seen so much Taylor Swift AI things in my life. That year it was a very special year.
It's all about the POP, man.
It was a very special. Easy, dude. Easy. It's a family show here, brother. What the
pop
heck
the drink, pop drinks. Jeez.
Oh my gosh, this guy is
it.
Anyway, guys, today we have a very special, couple of very special guests coming in.
You got it.
Oh my gosh, these guys are doing crazy stuff. We actually saw these guys at the Legions Con last year when we were there, and their setup was just freaking sane. But of course, their whole campaign was an amazing run. And if you haven't already, you should definitely check out their comic series. They have a wonderful motion comic, which I am absolutely through the moon with, because the story is great. The characters are really relatable. Particularly the main character. He's a dude. Well, let's just say he trips through dimensions. Yeah. All the time. It's just this, and it's really relatable because, again, he's one of us, right? Again, that Earth connection. Guys, please help us welcome the Meta Travelers, the two legendary themselves, of course. Jeremy and Marco. Guys, welcome. How are you guys today?
How's it going, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having us.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, hey, everybody.
This is incredible. Talk to us a little bit. First of all, how are things going with the campaign? Obviously the campaign's done, but how is it going with the figures? How's it going with the comic book? What are you guys been working on ever since things have been taken off? How have you guys been?
Yeah, well, thanks again. Thanks for having us. We had the successful Kickstarter campaign a little over 1 year ago today. Since then, we actually, as you mentioned, we had done a motion comic series that we have on our YouTube that's free and available for people to check out. And in the last, since the release of the figures, or since the Kickstarter, we created a special comic book series that specifically is around the legendary characters, and it kind of ties into the motion comics that we have done, almost now 3 years ago. And it kind of blends those two stories together and kind of tells where the legendary figures kind of sit in our universe and world and how it kind of relates to the stories that we've been telling previously. So we built out that was a 64-page comic that we were able to collaborate with a bunch of really awesome artists to kind of help produce that. So Ant Williams did, basically the book is kind of broken down into 3 kind of mini stories. And we work with 3 different artists to kind of have a different style for each section of that, kind of book. So Ant Williams did one of the stories. Gustavo Vargas did our main story that's, kind of sets the tone around the legendary figures. And then the last section is actually part of the motion comic story. And so then we also have a ton of extra, illustrations behind the scenes and kind of other, what's the right word? The Jeremy, what am I trying to say? The extra pages, the edits that we have of all the different
editorial, with behind the scenes and
behind the
progress.
It's a really cool kind of mix of everything. So you kind of see a lot of the stuff that was the inspiration, for the whole story world. And so we released that about now 3 months ago, I think, Jeremy. Yeah. And so we were working on that, and obviously, kind of the last few months has been head down working with our factory. Kind of going through, which we'll talk about in depth with you guys, but kind of going through all the different stages of creating figures. And Jeremy and I, this is our first Kickstarter, so this is our first time as indie toy developers making our first action figure line. So huge process, and kind of a lot of different checkpoints along the way, and we're learning and kind of as we're seeing things that we want to tweak, and it's been kind of those last polish, that you're kind of doing on every figure, all your last checks, and just kind of going through all the different fine tuning. So it's been kind of where we've been at this last few months, is really kind of just dialing that in. And I'll let Jeremy kind of also intro and chat a little bit as well about his. Go ahead, Jeremy.
We cut out for just a second, but we're happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for having us. Shout out to your community, and we're excited to share the project with you. Like Marco said, we've just been heads down working on this for the past couple of years. The past year specifically has been a huge focus on manufacturing and quality, and getting things set up to deliver. And we're excited where things are at. The manufacturer, we just heard back from the manufacturer today, and we've got some final touches to put on the figures, and hopefully get the final samples approved soon and start getting these out the door. Yeah.
That is incredible. So guys, take us through this, because honestly, this has been in the works for quite some time. How did this all start? Was it the comic book first, or did you guys always have, action figures in mind, or there's also a digital component to this, correct? Like there's I don't know, were they NFTs at one point, or was it a game? Like how did this all come about, if you guys wouldn't mind letting us know?
Yeah, so we did start originally with the motion comic. That was the first thing we kind of built the community around, and we had a community of folks who really loved digital media and that form of entertainment, and also comics and sci-fi. Marco and myself, huge sci-fi lovers, huge action film in general, a lot of video game inspirations, right? And so we wanted to make a collection that we thought would be fun, and also fun for us to just kind of like build out this story world, this universe, and be able to share that with people. And as they're showing here, this is one of the episodes from our motion comics. And if you haven't checked out our YouTube, definitely check out Meta Travelers on YouTube. We actually have the whole 32 episode series up there for free. You can check out kind of like, this was the origin of kind of all the lore that we have, serving as a backbone for Legendary, serving as a backbone for kind of like the digital characters that we've created, a lot of the animation, motion stuff, the 3D stuff that you might have seen us post about. Really, this is the beginning of it, right? And so we did have original comic that is an excerpt from these motion comic series, and then that also turned into a more developed version, specifically following up the action figure release, where it talks more about each of the starts to go and develop the stories of the characters that you see in the action figure line.
This is great. Jay just stepped out, but Marco, can you fill us in a little bit on the animation here?
Yeah, so as Jeremy was saying, we started with the motion comic. Actually, the motion comic we worked on with Andy Lanning. So he wrote the first. Actually, this whole series we wrote with him. And Andy has done a ton of stuff with Marvel and DC. He wrote the original Guardians of the Galaxy comics way back when. So it was awesome to be able to collaborate with him. And we started off with this, motion comic series. And then through this, we had a lot of people, in our community who were big in kind of into the digital space. So we ended up creating avatars, digital avatars of these like Nibiru characters. And so that was like another kind of, project that is kind of all underneath the umbrella of all the different kind of, things that we've kind of built out for the community. So we have the motion comics, we have the physical comics, we had digital avatars that we were kind of using for in gaming. We actually even had community members who like took the Nibiru avatars and like, put them as like mods, as skins in like Grand Theft Auto. And so we did a lot of fun stuff with that. So like there's like, other ways to kind of like interact with the community and kind of, use that spot. And then, about 2 years ago is when we had already had all these sculpting done for a few of the different characters where we were like, wow, it'd be awesome if we could create these into physical figures. Right. And actually one of the first things that we were doing was just like a very, very rough, like 3D print. We didn't think we were going to go this far into like fully articulated, like, high quality, with tons of detail. We were just kind of do something much simpler. And like it kind of just very naturally kind of evolved into like, okay, well, we could do this. It'd be really cool if we would be able to, make this into like a more of a high quality, collectible. And that's when we had ended up getting hooked up with Joe Vettery, who does a lot of the sponsorship for Legions Con and a lot of Toy Con and other, action figure events. And he actually introduced us to the guys at Four Horsemen who, were able to look at all of our designs and said like, yeah, we can definitely kind of guide you in the engineering to, make these into, fully articulated action figures. And so, we kind of had the decision to make. This was, about 2 years ago. And we went out to Legions Con. We also went out to the Four Horsemen factory and kind of got to meet everyone there who are, awesome. And obviously, pros at doing this stuff with decades of experience, and kind of just, ask them the questions of like how we could, potentially structure this, how we could, develop the figures. And, we ended up with a 15 figure, line that we debuted with, but originally I think it was only going to be, like 3 figures. But it kind of just ballooned into this thing because you get excited and you're like, kind of thinking about, okay, like how many figures would you like to come out with your debut? And, then you kind of have all these different designs and you're kind of like, wanting to figure out, how do you whittle that down into like kind of putting your best foot forward, show as many unique designs that you have. And so, yeah, that's kind of like where the beginning of the journey started. And I think being able to work with Four Horsemen and have like their, wealth of knowledge really of, how to design action figures and do it at a really high level that made us feel comfortable even kind of stepping into the process because, for anyone who's, gone through the process that it's, there's a lot that goes into, making toys, making action figures. And so, I knew it was going to be, a long and, kind of complicated process, but you have a lot of respect for just the art of making toys because there's a lot of people from, your original sculptors that are, you're working with and the artists who are creating the designs, the original prototypes and just all the different kind of people that it takes, kind of like a village just to make like a toy. But that's really kind of what it is. There's like a lot of people that you work with to kind of like really dial this in to create something that's, at a really high level that, we were excited to kind of, move forward with and ultimately, create the, legendary line that, will be coming out here very shortly.
It's incredible what you guys have accomplished, and so the motion comic is amazing. How did this concept come about? I mean, did you approach the writers, or did you guys already have this in your head? Like how did you guys come up with the legendary and the
yeah, so the original story was Jeremy and I riffing, 4 years ago about, that originally there was 3 race, kind of species of characters that we had in our mind. It was going to be the Nibiru, which are featured in the legendary, for our first wave. There was another one called the Nova, which was kind of a little bit more of like a cybernetic kind of our kind of cyberpunk twists, of like a whole different world of characters, and then another group called Theora. And once you start breaking this into it, just doing one thing is just So, we got, it took us basically this many years just to get through the first guild of characters. So we haven't even had a chance to really, we have tons of designs that we're sitting on and some that are even already sculpted out. And like, we're still tinkering with it, but like the original idea is that we wanted to create like this universe. And obviously from there, you can tell tons of different types of stories. And, it takes years to kind of really develop all this stuff, especially when you're talking about not only stories and comics, but then physical figures. There's a lot that we have planned and that we want to, continue to, build out. And this is kind of the very first, stage of it. So, Jeremy and I, we must have had, I don't know how many different mood boards of all the different kind of things that we're drawing inspiration from, where, the physical attributes are also kind of, drawing inspiration for storylines. And then the storylines are also, kind of, making you think about what those physical characteristics would be. So as you start to kind of think about like the world that you're creating, then like it makes it a little bit easier for you to think about the characters that would live in that world and, maybe, what they would dress like, what type of weapons they would have, or, just the overall aesthetic. So it's kind of like world building. And then the characters are kind of spawning from that.
And this was one of the fun parts too, is like, you never know what it is when you start working on it. Right. And it kind of reveals it to yourself as you're continuing to riff and share ideas. And, we had the privilege of working with Andy Lanning and Ant Williams. Ant Williams did a lot of the comic art, and together they do a lot of story building, and obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy, that work that Andy has done, he's very familiar with building out kind of the rules in which these characters live, and, how the world is shaped and how that all kind of shapes the decisions that the figures will make or the characters will make, the different types of stories and different powers and, laws of their universe. All of that stuff we kind of came up together with. And it was really fun just kind of watching it all unfold, right? And so that original comic kind of was the seed for all of that. And then, it helped kind of create this framework for us to build in. And, in the new comic, you can see that there is kind of like this cataclysmic event that pretty much brings all of the Legendary to the forefront. And they're coming basically from all areas of the chain worlds. And there's a clash, obviously, like there's the good and the evil. You start to see the alliances form. You start to see, even within kind of like the Legendary action figure line, which of the characters are going to be kind of going head to head with others, which of them will be forging, new teams or alliances to kind of enter this new battle. And then what you're showing there too is really awesome. These are pretty fresh off the print. We have the 64-page graphic novel, 4 different variant covers as shown here, right? Liam Sharp, obviously a really well-known DC artist. Todd Knock, who did the Spike cover on the left. We have Ant Williams, who did the other cover with Obsidious, and then Gustavo Vargas, who did the original cover. So all really, really amazing, talented artists, and, definitely great on their own right. So it was really cool also to kind of bring them all together to work on this project. But yeah, all the panels, all the storytelling, Gustavo has just like an amazing knack for storytelling. He did the main story for book 1. Ant Williams did the side story, the character story, which is specifically about the Pale King, which is super cool. And then we also have a excerpt of the original story in there, along with some other fun little Easter eggs and things to learn more about the universe. Just because, like I said, there's just so much that kind of went into building the world itself and the rules of the world. And so, as you learn more about how all of this kind of works, you get a even more in-depth feel for like who Obsidious is, who the Eternal Guard is, who the Pale King is, who all these characters are, just really, really brings them to life in new ways.
One of the great things I definitely, when going through the comic and watching all the motion comics, one thing that I recognized right away was the art style and the influences from, like, obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, as you mentioned earlier. Some of the creators are very well linked into the writing. It especially got to me when the main character was actually wormholing through different galaxies. You know, he was like just tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, and I was like, oh my god, that's straight out of like the third movie. Sorry, the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, when literally they're jumping from place to place to place, and their heads are like warping, and they're going kind of crazy. I thought that was really
fun.
cool. And it was just
it was actually fun when we were going back and forth with Andy, and a lot of these, we have like, general ideas of what we're trying to tell, and then like obviously giving Andy as much creative freedom as he wants to kind of also, shift and mold that story. But that exact scene, actually, I remember we got on a call and it was like the morning, we didn't know that he was going to do that. And he's like, so we tried something. He's like, I want to see what you guys think. He like shows us that scene of it, like kind of fluttering through all those different dimensions. And I was like, that's perfect. That's awesome. Like, it's kind of like, something that we were thinking of, but obviously he, put his kind of spin on it. So it's awesome that you guys can kind of recognize that through art style and, even writing style, and people who have followed him, obviously that's, it has his, signature all over it.
Yeah, the how, like, when you guys are creating this, and it seems like you guys get into a room or something like that. Like, it's because you're always talking about how you have meetings and stuff like that. Who came up with the original story? Was it you, Marco? Like, because you're the creative director, right? Is that how?
I think Jeremy and I are kind of like two sides of the same coin. So there's different things where we'll just kind of like riff ideas and then kind of keep iterating on those and then try to get those to a point where they're coherent enough. Then when like talking to someone like Andy who can kind of like lay out that vision. So we've kind of like had multiple different. It's a collaborative effort. I wouldn't say like I wrote the story. It's like or whatever. It's definitely been a collaboration. And, working with Andy kind of happened very organically because my brother-in-law is good friends with Liam Sharp. And they used to always come over for, the holidays or different, kind of pop in when he was in town. And we were sitting down together and I was talking to him. And, he was at that time working on a really cool Kickstarter project. Actually, I think, Jeremy, you ended up crowdfunding that with that. But he was, I was talking about this idea of that we had, to try to tell this interstellar, galactic story. And this final, it's funny because, you're sitting there at like a dinner table, just kind of talking about like the crazy, they're like, okay, these people are nuts. But I remember telling all these different kind of stories of like how we wanted to kind of build out this universe. And he's like, you know what, I should introduce you to Andy. He's like, I feel like he'd be the perfect person to collaborate with. And at the time I was like, I was actually kind of shocked. I was like, really? Like, because I was just kind of at the dinner table, just, talking about stuff that I was working on. And like, there's obviously common threads of different stuff of interest. And so when he introduced us to Andy, we kind of got on a really long Zoom call because Andy's from the UK. And so we were like, okay, well, to jump on a call, and we kind of just explained to him around the vision of like, wanting to, do, storytelling and build out, universes and characters and, kind of all the different stuff that we were looking at doing. And at that time, it wasn't in our head, like, hey, this is going to go into action figures. It was more of just like kind of the motion comics and the stories and stuff like that. So, he, was after we kind of like laid out, the general premise of kind of what we were thinking about doing. He said that he thought it was like an awesome idea and that it would be a lot of fun to collaborate on that. And he's the one who actually ended up, talking to Ant Williams and kind of picked, his like kind of cavalry of team that he's been working on, projects for the last, decade or two. And so it kind of came together, piece by piece in a very natural kind of way that just kind of like, kind of has evolved into this thing. And sometimes when I'm having these calls and trying to remember like all the different steps of how we even got here, like I forget about, there's just kind of so many different, I guess layers to the project and, the things that we've built out, from
so many conversations.
Yeah. So it's been since like inception of Jeremy and I talking about this is about 4.5, 5 years ago. The motion comics are almost 4 years ago, and then like everything else has kind of just continues to kind of spawn off of it. So, I mean, it's awesome. It's just like I'm, just kind of working out every day and doing this stuff, and it just kind of keeps kind of growing. And now like we actually have the physical figures, which I think are so exciting because it's just like a tangible thing where you can have and like kind of really. It makes it even more, real as we're kind of building all these things out. But it's been a ride to say the least.
Yeah, getting the figures in your hands for us, it's kind of like a culmination of, the past 4.5 years. And it's like when we first had the prototype, I'll pull out, the first, for example, we get the first test print, right? And so, you spend 2 years kind of working on it, and to actually finally hold something in your hand. I don't know if, many folks from the community have even seen a test print, but basically just like a blank that is actually, fully articulated, posable, something like that. And that is, for us, it's like, that's when this is real. And that's when it just hits you like, wow, we've been working on this for so many years, but it wasn't until just now that I was actually able to hold it in my hands, and then from there, being able to kind of like have something that is actually, so you could actually, give this to a collector, and they would, this is what the collectors want, right? Like you want to be able to hold a fully finished figure. And, as a collector, before we had done all this, I had, you only see it from like the outside of the box perspective, right? You get it off the shelf, you hold it in your hands, but you don't realize how many years goes into developing the figure itself and producing the figure. And then even before that, how many years goes into the story and, building up that character and getting people to learn about and to connect with that character. So it's like on so many levels, it's a lot. There's a lot to get there, and it feels great to kind of like finally hold them in our hands and know that we're so close to getting them into other people's hands.
Yeah, we had much the same experience with Flipboard, having test shots and having, the very first, prototypes come in, and it really is just a great learning experience because, and it's one of these collaborative efforts where I find that because we're in different countries, right? It's time zones are a big thing too, right? It's really difficult to actually get a meetings going. Sometimes one party has to be up at 1 a.m. in the morning while the other party is just starting their day. You know what I mean? It's really kind of crazy to think about it in that way. But that really shows us how well connected and how well-oiled machine that has to be in order to get these things completed. So guys, awesome stuff. You guys give us a couple of photos which you can take a look at if you guys wanted to walk us through that. But just before that, I think we got a whole bunch of different comments flying in from the chat. So I wanted to acknowledge everybody who came in to hang out with us today. Michael Jean Fleming, what's going on, my friend? How you doing tonight? Lloyd Christmas, good afternoon. Reviewers, good to see you, Lloyd. Philly Jones, first on the scene. Well, but Philly, looks like you were first on the live. We'll still say that. Sci-Fi George, Toy Nation, and everybody. Good to see you, brother. Frankie Rivera's in the house. Samuel Bernhardt. Any news on the date of the classified fan stream? Not as of yet. They'll probably give us another update. I think a lot of the toy companies right now, everything with this, just to really touch on this really quickly, everything with this tariff situation is kind of throwing everybody off. I mean, people are announcing things, but then they're pushing them back. It is just a strange thing, and it's affecting. We're learning this firsthand now. Like everybody who's doing toys, everybody who's manufacturing toys, we're really starting to. It's that thing where it's just this looming dread because we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. It's pretty.
A lot of question marks.
Yeah.
It's something you have to like plan around. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And what we're like, I'm not going to lie. In terms of us, we're just hoping if we wait out long enough, maybe something will happen, just like what it did with Mexico, Canada. You never know, right? Something might actually end up turning around.
It's temporary hope.
But it is a scary situation for any of us right now trying to.
I'm just hoping that they abolish taxes.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome.
I think I'm moving to U.S.
That would be
happens.
The greatest thing ever. Oh yeah, I think everybody wants to move to the U.S.
But
they will cut off the border just like they just did. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. That's not for this stream. Aquarius.
That's a different podcast completely.
I know. Completely. Well, we can get on that like on After Dark or whatever. Aquarius man, Jay, thank you for this year going crazy. Happy HasLab new figures coming. Yes, the Legendary are coming. Everything's coming. Chris Kenny, hello everybody. Hope we're having fun today. We're having a ball, Kenny. We're having an absolute ball. Let's see here. Rafa, good to see you, my friend. Joe Barrett, all from California. Good to see you, brother. Hopefully the weather's not too bad, and of course we are praying for you guys. Like seriously, like hopefully everybody's recovering. Freaking tragedies out there. Renegade Bikers in the house. Dave, Mikkel, and Blue Splash. Really, sports are being talked about. Wait, it's the biggest thing in the world, man. Like, what can we say? Like, we have to at least acknowledge it. Frankie's back in the house. Toys of a time gone by. Mondo is okay, very overpriced. My Mondo He-Man, and I'm a bit disappointed with it. You know what, dude? You don't have to collect Mondo. You can collect the Legendary. I mean, like, there's a lot of other toy lines you can collect. So, Philly baby, go Eagles! Yes, thank you, Frankie. We know who you're voting for. Shay Reed's in the house. Jay,
Hey,
what's
Shay,
going
what
on,
up,
Shay?
bro?
Good to see you.
What's
Great
up,
friend
buddy?
of the channel. Hidden Mist is in there. Another good friend of the channel. Good to see you guys.
Both legends.
TKD Bar. What's going on, my friend Saf? Renegade Biker Chris Bouchard. Can't wait to get my 2 figures from the website pre-ordered. And how's the figures coming along?
Nice.
Well, guys, how are the figures coming along?
They are coming along good. We'll do more deep dive, I think, after we get through some of these chats.
We're gonna take a look. It's gonna
What's
be
the ETA?
beautiful.
Is there ETA?
Well, hold on. Let's get to that.
Okay, we're getting
I'm
excited, man.
He's jumping the gun again. He's jumping the gun again.
I want to see it. I want them in my hand right now.
He can start. Get too excited, guys. You have to forgive him. Let's see. Is my favorite DC movie? What an emotional roller coaster! Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah, man. Like honestly, if you're an animal lover, be careful with that movie. If you're an animal lover, like animals take it on the
spoiler alert.
I'm just saying, animals take it on the chin in that movie, man. Like they take it on the chin. Like, it's crazy, that movie. Like if that's a PG movie, I don't know what kind of kids are in that movie. Like, I don't want to bring my kids to that, but that's just nuts. Let's see here. Anybody else that we haven't said hi to? Kid Chuckle, message you're doing around. It's okay, it's all good. We want to hear from you. And last couple ones here. Night Train. I pretty much liked every movie before Endgame. After that's a hit or miss for me. Like even Thor 2, LOL. I think Guardians of the Galaxy version 1 success led to a too silly storyline in some model ways. But you know what? We need some more levity. Like comic movies are getting too serious, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, but it is what it is.
Common theme, though. A lot of people after Endgame, there's a little bit of a dump off on.
It's true. It's true. Dark Wolf 82. What do you think the next HasLab will be? They announced
the Leo Kaiser.
Yeah, they just announced it. They showcased most of it today at Orlando. So we'll cover that a little later in the show, guys. Don't worry about it. So, guys, I'm excited. Let's shall we take a look at some of the images you guys sent us, because these things are rocking. So why don't you take us through this and let us know a little bit more about this, because I think I'm ready to go with this one. I'm absolutely thrilled at this. Woo! Look at that! Okay. My God, just crazy.
Let's do it.
So who do we got here?
Yeah, so this figure is Siberius Kane. We have a lot of so this, I kind of just going back a little bit. Our whole line was designed to be cross-compatible, pop and swap. So if you're used to Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, that ethos, very similar. Even those shin guards that you see on that boot, those pop off, can kind of swap off with other shin guards in the line.
Nice.
Same thing with obviously heads and different other pieces, but even the way we designed from like a forearm between the elbow and the upper shoulder, you could pop that off and switch that with other sections in line. So we tried to make sure, for the most part, I mean, it's not maybe 100% on every single asset, but it's really, really close as far as swappability. We're doing soft goods on over half of the figures have soft goods that were made by C. Jessom, who also does stuff with the Horsemen. So
CJ,
he's a buddy of ours too.
He's awesome. This figure. Trying to think of all the different. Jeremy has the up in the top screen there,
just hiding in the corner. Yeah, this is actually the guy. But yeah, Siberius Kane. He's this cybernetic hunter, bounty hunter. And,
so this also has like a thigh swivel for articulation. We have kind of like a whole articulation layout on our site. If you kind of either back the Kickstarter or go to our site, you can kind of see like a full breakdown. Depending on the figure, it can be like up to 30 points or plus. Like on our Eternal Guard figure, we have that's kind of like some of the swappability there on how some of those pieces pop off. A little bit of
fun to play with.
There's a lot and there's a lot more kind of storyline between. If you're kind of someone who loves lore, on our website we have kind of full bios and kind of breakdowns of each character.
we're in the midst of telling, more in-depth story around the characters as we've been doing with our physical comic books, and also kind of playing around with other, formats to tell kind of engaging stories, because kind of like the storyline for us has been, really where we started. So it's something that we've always wanted to kind of develop as we develop the different characters. Here you can kind of see a good breakdown of our articulation chart. And if people in the comments or, in the chat want to have any comments about the figure or have questions, feel free to just rifle those off and we can kind of chat more about it. Yeah.
So, and as you said, so the four horsemen were integral in the design of these. In the development of these figures. And I asked this question behind the scenes, but is there any possibility that they could interchange with Cosmic Legion at all, or is that something that's not really a part of the whole system?
So we had some discussions, with the Horsemen, and while they are not specifically designed to be fully compatible, you may be able to get some parts to work across the line. Definitely some accessories and stuff worth trying, and coming from their own team too. Any customizer that knows what they're doing is definitely going to be able to make the parts work across. But yeah, not officially compatible. But I'm sure you're going to see a lot of cool stuff at Legion's Con next year. So I'll just
shout out Christopher Bouchard, if I'm saying that right. I see he said he pre-ordered the Obsidious and Voidwalker characters. So much.
Absolutely. Kevin Florence is saying, hello, all excited for this new tie line. So a lot of people are in the chat, and they are. The Night Train, these are so cool. They're still available for pre-order right now, I believe, if that's not if I'm correct. So Night Train, head over to the Meta Travelers website. You can try to pre-order these right now. Let's see here.
They're on our site.
And we also have them. Sorry, I forgot to mention. We also have them for pre-order on TitanToys.com. We'll be giving some pre-order. We'll be giving some pre-order information close to the end of the interview. But 100%, you can definitely order them here in Canada if you guys are interested at TitanToys.com. Thank you for reminding me of that.
No,
I'm always.
I should have jumped in there, but it's okay, man.
It's okay. I'm concentrating. So
we're excited, man.
We are excited. This guy gives me a lot of bounty hunter vibes, which is exactly who he is. And I love this. I love the poncho. Is that a poncho? Is that what? Am I saying that right? Is that?
Yeah, it's got like a cape off the back, and it has like kind of the collar piece, so that there's like a hard collar kind of piece that goes over the top of the cape.
Yeah, I love the Mandalorian. I'm just like throwing what I think. Like if I'm wrong, definitely yell at me. But I love the sort of helmet idea. Kind of Mandalorian-ish. I love that. And this weapon we have seen in the book. It's been they keep trying to stab the guy with it. So it's really cool to see this this continuation. Does the shield have any significance, or is it just this beautiful shield that he has?
Not any specific significance to the character. We wanted to design like a really nice shield for this character, so we were kind of this is where we landed with it. But
in general, the concept behind Siberius is he is he has this advanced sci-fi bionetic suit, and so that would be an extension of that, and his armor as well has some of those features. It's kind of like the mask too as well, right? It's equipped with features, like a in helmet HUD display, and things like that. Just like be exciting to for example, we think if we were to make a movie of this, how would we portray it? Or some of those scenes, and like if you were inside of that suit, what would things look like from the inside out too? So thinking from that perspective, you could have all kinds of cool gadgets or other tech kind of like embedded in the suit, embedded in the shield as well down the road.
Yeah, and I think what's cool with this character too is, and when you're designing any figure is, the color tones and things that we want to do, even though it kind of has a sci-fi element to it, kind of using earth tones and natural colors and the browns and the, kind of hunter greens and golds. It's not as common of a color palette that you would see in a typical action figure or typical character. And so, as you look at the whole line, we wanted, the whole line to have kind of really, unique features to each one to kind of really kind of have them pop. And so it was a lot of fun as we go through the different variations of because I think when you're looking at each character that you're making, you go through maybe a bunch of different color palettes, and kind of there might be some where you're already dead set on that you're like, I know we're going this way, but there was actually a few figures where we had a certain color palette in mind, And then once we saw it in a different way, like we completely shifted like kind of course. Quick Jack, which we'll get to later, is one of those that was just super crazy colors. And, so it's kind of fun as you kind of play through color palettes and, obviously the different kind of emotions that brings out of the character as well.
I'm loving it. All right, so the next character we can take a look at is I think this is
Kyle Darkhelm.
Dark Kyle, sorry. Yeah, this guy looks cool, man. Like, holy crap. Talk us through this guy. Like, what was the development on him?
Yeah, he's very much a space pirate vibe. He is like the arch nemesis of Quick Jack, who is another character from the line. Go ahead, Marco. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was going to say this character started off really with the helmet design. We kind of had that inspiration from that kind of like Oni style kind of mask. And so what's cool about this character, actually, it has this helmet style, but we also have the character. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but there's going to be, I think there's going to be two heads for this one. There's going to be the without the helmet and with, but we started with that helmet, and that was kind of like the intro to this particular design and this character. That whole shoulder piece that you see is removable, so that kind of plugs into the back, and there's actually like a couple different layers to it. If you see on the left side, the shoulder, those pauldrons pop off, and then the shoulder piece in the front is a separate piece. So you can kind of actually, if you remove the center piece, you can still display the character with just the shoulder pauldrons. You could have it obviously fully loaded with that, and then on the back of that figure, the cape snaps into the back and kind of actually tucks behind it. On our Instagram, we might have a picture of that, so it's better display that. And I wish I had that figure with me right now. We've been kind of going back and forth with factories, and so I don't have that one in hand. But I think somewhere, maybe, if it's a little bit further back, there's one of just a back shot, and you can kind of see how the cape kind of tucks in behind. It's a little bit lower.
And those capes were made by C. Justin, you said?
It was. And what's cool about it, as you can kind of see here, there's wires in that cape. So you can also pose that about, if you want to kind of have that, motion effect to the cape. The cape, definitely an awesome kind of feature to this character. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. Another one about this one. So even like the arm pauldrons that you see on both sides, both of those are removable. This character has a lot of swappability to it. So you have the shin guards, you have the arm guards, you have the shoulder pauldrons, the chest piece, the head. So you could actually see this character a bunch of different ways. And you can kind of strip it down to kind of have, I guess you could have the loaded version there. You can kind of see the cape kind of scrunched off to the side with the wires, how you can kind of, position it. So there's a lot of customization to that. Even you can see the lower tunic also has wires in it. So you can kind of see how that's popped off. So that's really nice for, if you're doing action figure photography, trying to kind of really get like a really good shot where it feels like it's in motion. You can kind of capture it, with this figure. And then obviously a bunch of different paint applications on here. We have obviously the gold and kind of this nice, silver, a lot of different kind of stuff going on. And then the chest underneath, which you can't really see a little bit, it kind of has like a lava kind of cracked chest design. Which you can see here at the bottom.
That's very signature to the main antagonists of the series, right? They all seem to have been possessed by some sort of I don't know if it's the entity itself, but every time you see them, like one of the allies actually got transformed into one of these. And,
so the Nibiru also have like part of this species is a bit of shapeshifters, and so as they can interact with different elements, they will show up in that way. So that's why we have some characters that kind of have the ice element to them, some of them that have more of the kind of like fire element. So definitely kind of pulled from these different elemental kind of qualities that the figures kind of enhance themselves with.
I found it was a great storytelling technique that they adapt to their environment, not reshaping their environment like what humans do, where we tear down forests and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool that if you're in an ice world, they change themselves to become ice dwellers, right? So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, and that's kind of also as like the Nibiru species are also like explorers in our story, and kind of the kind of first species to kind of connect all the different worlds in the universe. So like in order for them to be able to travel to all these spaces, that ability is like what allowed them to kind of, move from place to place and kind of explore through our universe.
So good. This has been really well thought out, and I'm really appreciating it. The next figure we can take a look at is this one, and I like. So this is basically a warrior race. Is that from the book? I was kind of reading like they're bred for war, or is that or combat?
So the Nibiru, what I kind of explained, and having this ability, what happened is, and you can read this in our story, is the spite, which are kind of the red look, just to make it easy for people who are like looking through photos. The kind of red versions of these Nibiru, they kind of basically had this.
Like a parasitic species, essentially, right? And so the Nibiru inherently are a peaceful species, but they also were the first in this universe to discover the ability to travel between different dimensions using the Genesis Stone technology. And then somewhere along the lines, they encountered the spite species, where typically with the Nibiru conjoining, it's a symbiotic relationship to where, both the host and the other part form, a mutually beneficial bond. But then with the spite is actually a parasitic species, almost this like evil entity. And so when the Nibiru first conjoined with the spite takes over the host, right? It takes over the Nibiru and essentially turns it into, a more evil species that is driven by kind of like the spite's I guess their general intention, right? And so that is kind of at the core too of this struggle, right? Over the power of the Genesis Stones and the Nexus Tower is, the Spite are trying to gain control of it, while the Nibiru are trying to maintain, a peaceful, chain world.
Understood. And is this an exosuit? Like what is this a battle suit? Like how does this
Yeah,
work?
so there's a few characters that are kind of have advanced tech, and we call those characters seekers. There's so many layers to this, though, so it's hard when we're kind of just jumping into it. So forgive us, but yeah, so the seekers are also Nibiru, but they are kind of like protectors, who are kind of like at the call of what's the best way to say it?
So they're like, intergalactic bounty hunters and also, protectors of the chain worlds.
Yeah, and so you'll see this character as well as Nexus and Quickjack that also have a lot more like advanced armor, and that kind of explains why some of these characters have the armor and the weapons that we chose with them, while other ones might have a little bit more of kind of the fantasy kind of realm kind of feel to them. So that's kind of where these are coming from. But this character here, is part of that seeker group.
Yeah.
And this character is called Epsilon for anyone who is new to Legendary.
And I love the designs. They harken to a lot of different video game type of motif. And this could easily fit Halo. It could easily fit in a whole bunch of different FPSs. You know what I mean? So I really love the inspiration that's being drawn from these characters. Does his gun, like you were mentioning the gun, does it have any significance? It looks like a sniper rifle kind of situation.
Yeah, it's so we kind of have like out of the different seekers, there's kind of like the Epsilon who has kind of like our long range specialists. We also have Nexus, which is a little bit more of kind of the like brute with like kind of rocket launcher with. So they all kind of have different basically different parts of the unit, right? Of different tactical weaponry. And what's kind of cool, you don't see in this picture, we actually also added like a fire blast that will pop into the end of the barrel. So it's like a clear plastic kind of fire blast effect that we added on to this
Nice.
to this figure. It also comes with the kind of pistol that's on his hip, so has a couple different weapons there. Trying to think of other things to bring up that I'm maybe not thinking. Again, a lot of the stuff too, as far as like shoulder pauldrons, removable, different pieces like that.
Yeah.
It looks great, and obviously, like you said, a lot of these pieces are interchangeable. Is that what you said? So basically, you can pop and
Correct.
swap between different characters.
Yeah, definitely. So when it comes to some of the different like shoulder pads, or obviously helmets, heads, all the heads are swappable across the line. But there's
Even
other
arms, legs, yeah.
Yeah, you could pull the arm off at at the shoulder, or at the shoulder, and like pop those onto a different figure. And I've had a chance to do that. I haven't really posted too many of those photos because those figures don't technically exist. So I didn't want to confuse people like showing them all these different kind of like combinations. But they work really well together in a lot of these different kind of pop and swaps.
That is amazing. The next figure we're taking a look at is one of them, and this guy is just like, he's amazing. Why don't you talk us through this one, guys?
Yeah, this was actually one of the very first designs that we did way back when we started, kind of moving into building the action figure line. This character is the Eternal Guard. This is kind of like our one of the biggest like kind of like hero figures in our universe. They are kind of like not only protectors of the Nibiru race, but kind of protectors of kind of our kind of universe that we've kind of created. This character is fully loaded. It has the wings are fully articulated, so each one of those different wings is on an articulation point. And what's really cool, one of the features we added recently is at the back, like where it plugs in is on a ball joint. So you can actually bring those wings and kind of like wrap it around the character a bit, or you can kind of have them pull back. So you can display that a bunch of different ways. I think on our Instagram, we have a pretty cool turntable, I think, or maybe I haven't posted. Maybe I'm actually posting that one this week. Never mind. Stay tuned. But yeah, it comes with axe, shield. It has the kind of removable shoulder pauldron that you see there from that angle. And the paint, kind of paints on this one really, really pop, especially in person. That gold has like a really, really nice kind of metallic shine to it. This is definitely one of our, one of the most popular figures in the entire line.
Yeah, he looks great.
I see it says Eternal Guard and me are going to be buds.
I know, right? Would I be mistaken to say that he actually shows up in issue 5 on the motion comic, or is that am I mistaken on that?
I think you might be mistaken, because it's like there was a variation of a character that's somewhat similar, but not this particular character. This character is first seen in book 1, The Fall of Mira Prime, which we released a few months ago. That's kind of like
may have been inspired. Like some of the features probably inspired.
Because I saw the wings and I'm like, wow, that's almost like a demigod kind of situation. And even the way the characters interacted with him on that world, they were kind of like, they treated them like deities. So I thought maybe that was the inspiration behind that. But again, this world is so vast and so rich in detail. Yeah, you really have to take your time and really like go through everything. It's you guys really have put in an expansive type of idea here. I love the way he can do these, like that's like like you said, it's on a ball joint, right? So he can do
that's what I was kind of explaining before, of how you can kind of manipulate those wings in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, we hadn't until this point really shown the character like this too. So it's awesome seeing a variety of poses for the wings. They don't have to just be traditionally out to the side, right? You can go up, you can go down, back, forward. Yeah, it's cool seeing that added kind of layer.
And did you mention that it could almost do a protection type of wing? Where
it's not going to completely like enclose the character, but the wings themselves, you can't really tell in this photo, but they were built, or they were designed on a bit of a curve. And so when you kind of, because of the ball joint, you can kind of wrap it a bit. So it's like this, but it wouldn't be completely like enclosed, if that makes sense.
No.
And we just wanted to give it more,
more depth.
Yeah, more depth, and be able to have that rotation, with the wings, but not necessarily what the original plan wasn't to like, enclose the character.
That's very cool. So are there 2 versions of this? Because it looks like there are 2 different armors, the white armor and the golden armor, or is that just the lighting?
It's just the lighting between the 2 photos, unfortunately. So yeah, there's only one. This design is only like this.
Yeah, so it's more of like an ivory and gold. The white is a very like ivory like color, and then the gold is I guess kind of like a just like a bright gold type of look. Yeah.
Yep. Totally get it. Yeah, sometimes with different lighting, that tends to happen, right? So I just wanted to make sure, because this one also looks cool. You know, if you guys decide to do another color scheme, I mean, this guy's kind of neat too, right?
I would say that this image that you're looking at here is more true to the physical figure, that when you get it in your hand, because like Jeremy was saying, it's more of an ivory and gold, and so it's not like a clean white, and gold. And I think that kind of also has like yeah, I mean, like you said, they both look good, but just so people have an idea of when they see, kind of, if they haven't seen the figures, in person, that's kind of the look that you're going to get. And it's always hard, when you're, and I'm sure when you're shooting figures, depending on how bright your light is and everything, you can kind of have the same figure look a little, a smidge different.
Absolutely. All right, the next figure that we're going to take a look at is Meld Master. So this one, he's pretty much front facing in many of your promotional photos. So what's the story with this guy? Because I don't think we've met him in the books that I've read. Anyway, I don't think we've actually.
Yeah. So in the book one, Fall of Mirror Prime, we introduce him at the closer towards the end of that story. This character in our story is kind of like one of the kind of like the godfather of time travel, if you will. He's kind of or of, I should say, of travel throughout our universes, as a character who kind of help discover the technology that helps kind of move through world to world. And so definitely going to be a large part of our story as we move forward. But with the figure, clear plastic, we did a lot of, I mean, for this character really comes pretty loaded, but we did a clear plastic blue with also like a white kind of frosted paint over the top of that, which is really nice, compared to traditional, maybe just full transparent clear plastic. I think that with the touch of the white paint, that frosted, it kind of has that pop that kind of allows you to kind of appreciate the details. Because if you notice, when you have clear plastic figures, sometimes the details get a little bit lost, when you're looking at it.
100%.
So by adding in like just that little bit of extra white, paint over the top on that, it kind of just accentuates all the different bone details, things like that. And Jeremy has that figure as well. So if you want to see other angles, he can hold it up and kind of show you a little bit of that.
Sweet. Yeah, I know. So it has something like a white wash on top, so that you can highlight some of those.
Yeah, in certain parts, have a bit of like a white frosting on some of the little areas there. And he has his little backpack that plugs into the back too, comes fully loaded. And what's cool too is a lot of the little accents and stuff was actually done in clear plastics too. So you get a bit of that translucent effect on, part of the hosing and part of the little gemstones and things like that. Some of his accessories as well. This is another instance where these actually are detachable, so you could swap shin guards. And then this, I believe the waistband too, is a 2-piece. So this can be broken down into 2 separate pieces. So some really cool stuff you could do with this guy. I think these goggles actually come off too.
They do.
That is really cool. Oh my gosh. JMax77, the pouty looking white guy in the wings has me stoked. Just got here. How much longer till they are in hand?
Yeah, so if you just jumped in or if you've been with us the whole time, so we, over the last, I'd say 2 months, we were in our final refinement phase. We worked with our factory. They're going to be sending us like completed figures in packaging for review this month. All we have to do is kind of sign off on that. And then we're going to go into full production, printing, and then, start delivering off of that. So we're hoping that by the end of this month, all the figures in their packaging, like our final designs, have been approved. And then, next month be able to start the production process, which for the first run, we have thousands of figures we have to print. So that will take generally, 3 to 4 weeks. The factory has told us to kind of print the amount of the amount of units that we're printing off. So we're basically right around the corner now. I think this last month or two was refinements in a lot of just
articulation and tolerances. So if you guys are familiar with the process of creating figures, you probably know this, but if you're not, the tolerances are just how stiff the joints are or how loose they are. And we're talking fractions of a millimeter in plastic. So you're basically, as we're getting these test prints, we're just playing around with them like you would and putting them in tons of different poses and seeing where can things be adjusted to be tighter, or is it too tight? Is it too loose? And that takes a lot of refinement. And because of our figures being interoperable with the whole line, we had to go through every single figure and every kind of like combination of, oh, well, if this shin guard pops off, how does it fit on this character when you put it on? Is it still loose? And so that took a lot longer than we originally had kind of overseen. And it's something that you don't really know until you've gone through this process and you've started to kind of tinker around with them and just play with them and just kind of see what you can do. And, there was little decisions where, okay, if we cut a 1/4 inch off the back of this, we can get a little bit extra more rotation, and we can get a little bit extra more movement. And obviously for all collectors, being able to kind of have the broadest range of motion on the figures is important. So that's basically what we've been doing for the last, I'd say 30 to 45 days, was getting to that point. And so we had our list of kind of, tuning and revisions, and, the factory did all those things. And now they're sending us back, the kind of, essentially the finals, as long as they're approved, at which at this point, they feel good about where they're at. So do we. So it's just kind of like, let's look at them one more time before we turn on
them in the box,
printing machine and start printing off thousands of figures, making sure everything, this is the quality control basically.
Yeah, 100%. QC is incredibly important because if anybody if anybody has any experience in this, again, inside looking out now, one of the reasons why figures might snap when you try to manipulate them is because the tolerances are too tight, right? So if you don't dial it in perfectly and correctly, you're going to get a lot of upset people, right? Because then they're always going to have to heat up their figure every time they want to pose them, right? So yeah. Of course.
And this is actually the same. It's funny that you said that. When we were talking with the factory, it's like, getting this stage right. When you spend years kind of creating something, and you're at this like final critical stage, like making sure that you're kind of going through each one of these kind of checks and and quality control is so important. And so that was kind of something for us that like we wanted to make sure we got right here. But that's a long way of saying, hey, we're getting the finals approved, hopefully in this next couple of weeks, and then turning on the printing machine and kind of going from there. So we hope to have them in your hands very soon. Yeah,
we're excited. We're excited. Sean He, will these come as another Kickstarter or a direct pre-order from now
on? So after this, we won't do another Kickstarter for these exact figures. The best way, if you're looking to collect this line, so we have all of our, retail partners, and, if you want to pick them up, through them. If you backed our Kickstarter, obviously, we're going to be supporting our Kickstarter, people first, getting those out in their hands. Then directly after that, getting that to all of our, approved retailers, whether, Titan Toys or wherever you go to pick up your toys, we'll be there. And then after that, we might be able to do a second wave print run. We're also kind of having the discussions of keeping these at to a certain level. How many do we want to print? And so being able to also have a sense of rarity. So if you collect on the
limited edition.
Yeah, what we were talking about is potentially we could always do variants of these, maybe different color schemes. And then this way, if you've been around and you've kind of collected these, that these would also have a little bit more of exclusivity to them. So that's kind of what I can say about that. We definitely are, we'll have, some inventory, as we first launch. And then from there, we'll kind of make a decision on if we're going to do another print run of these exact same figures, or if we'll do, maybe some variants of these figures. We, kind of TBD at this point.
Yeah, But I thought that might be a good opportunity for us to take to say that they are available on TitanToys.com right now.
Yeah.
So if you guys would like to pre-order these, we do ship internationally. So if you guys spend over $250 on TitanToys.com, you qualify for free shipping. So it's not a bad idea within Canada, the United States. So not a bad idea to stock up here. So we really appreciate it, guys. Of course, we want to thank TitanToys.com for this opportunity to speak with the legendary and of course. Our guest tonight, Sean. Thank you. I hope that helps answer your question. So yeah, guys, this is incredibly exciting as always. Let's take a look at the next figure in the line. Of course, I have to expand because I don't remember where we were. This one is, I think, Nesco.
Nexus.
Nexu. Yeah, Nexu.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
Nexus
this-
also.
Next.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Next.
Go ahead. I've been talking a bunch.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so Nexus is another from the Alliance of Free Seekers. So we previously saw Epsilon. As you can see, this one's also from kind of like a similar type of guild within the Legendary universe. And this would be more of the heavy artillery support, kind of like the Rocketeer or the Grenadier. Pictured here is actually him equipped with the jetpack, and we hadn't actually revealed the jetpack until probably about a month ago, right? So this whole time we had shown him with his rocket launcher on the over-the-shoulder equipable, but here you can see him with the rocket pack too. So yeah, he comes with a lot of different ways to kind of customize as well. If you pop that right hand off, that whole forearm piece comes off to the little rocket launcher. You can swap arms with that. You can put that on other characters. Has the gun holster with the detachable gun. And completely different paint job, right? And so the three that you would see together kind of in this alliance is Epsilon, Nexus, and Quickjack. So yeah, this guy is, just another awesome kind of like soldier in that guild.
Yeah, I love army builders. I think that they're a really great way to build up the lore. So these guys are definitely ones to check out for sure. There he is with the rocket launcher, as you mentioned earlier, and yeah, these guys are looking absolutely crazy.
Does this guy's helmet come off too? No, this guy.
The face mask comes off.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I was just looking for a pack out, but it doesn't seem to be here on this side. But yeah, these guys look crazy. And again, army builders. And this one, this version, of course, is the one that has. Sorry, I keep moving it backwards. This is the one that actually has the rocket pack, as you mentioned. So that's really cool. Do we have any photos of these on the Instagram? Maybe we can see the rocket
We
pack.
do. If you jump over to our Instagram, there is.
It's a pre-order.
You can actually see the back of the figure too, which shows off the jetpack a little bit more. I think right there.
Yeah.
And there's 3 photos in there, so that's the front.
Yes.
Now, so that piece in the back, there's kind of where it clips in on for that you could switch, either have the jetpack or also
There we
have
Oh,
a
right.
rocket
Yeah.
pack on there.
That's beautiful.
And so those flames are also like a clear plastic. So all this kind of stuff too, if you're doing action figure photography and kind of backlight it really nice, you can kind of get some really cool kind of looks off of that. What else to say about this guy?
He's sick.
I think
Actually, one other thing. That entire chest piece that you see is completely removable. And then he has a base layer kind of armor underneath that. So that kind of is 3 clips. It's the front, the back, and then the top. And so that kind of clips onto him and snaps in there. But you can take that whole thing off and have, again, there's a lot of layers to these figures.
Mm-hmm.
So it allows you to display them a bunch of different ways.
Incredible. Absolutely awesome. That's great.
I almost forgot. I mean, yeah, I forgot about that just because there's so many.
But you know what?
Parts, yeah.
More options is good, right? That's the big thing about these. So incredible, absolutely great. And of course, if you, as you said, have enough ingenuity, you can probably do something with the Cosmic Legion too. Wink. I'm just saying. So great stuff. And then we'll go on to the Pale King.
Oh, yeah.
This guy looks.
Yeah, this one's super cool. Seeing this one in person was kind of mind blowing, just because The staff, that is all kind of like in a translucent green plastic too. So when you hold it up to the light, it just, it changes colors. And the pattern in it too has this kind of like swirling magic. And so seeing the light refract through it at different angles is just, it's kind of hypnotizing, honestly. And the soft good actually really turned out well on this one too. Once again,
Shout out
see
to
Jessam. Yeah, it's like this like a 3-piece soft good that it looks like one, but because of the 3 layers, there's like actually 3 different types of fabric. Has that holographic custom design on it, along with some textured print as well to give it, just a lot of depth. And then details. There are even multiple revisions. That rope went through multiple revisions itself too, and we weren't super happy with how it turned out the first time. So we were like, oh, that rope needs to be way better, just because the whole character, I think, turned out so nice. So even making sure little elements like that were kind of up to par with the design of the rest of the figure. This one also too, we ended up doing a black wash to kind of give it a lot more depth and grunge to certain elements of it. And once they did that too, it really just brought out a lot of the details in the print too.
Yeah, it looks great. I can see the black wash really highlighting some of the details, especially here in the clothing, the armor section. It's really, really cool, and it really matches well with the fabric. It's almost like it's part of the same material, right? So it's really really neat. I love that.
Yeah, and even like the cloth itself, we kind of went through a revision where we kind of like had that worn and torn kind of dirty effect on it. So it did, when we first made it, it looked so pristine and it was like so clean, which it looked great. It just kind of much different. And then adding the black wash, we're like, okay, well, if you have the black wash to the figure, then the cloth also has to have that same kind of grungy look to it to kind of like, make sense with the rest of the figure. And then this character also has like a removable kind of face mask that goes on top. So right now you're seeing it obviously without the mask. On our Instagram, you can see some other images of that figure, but there again, same type of thing. There's a hood on, hood off. There's also a hood down. There's a collar on, collar off. There's a lot of different layers to this.
Shin guards again swappable on this guy. It has like the back plate horns and the horns on the collar, all kind of like removable.
Yeah, I think if you scroll a little bit further down, you'll see on the right side just a little bit more. There's one of the character there's all the accessories right there that you just passed. So if you click on that, you can see the back plate, all the different kind of pieces that kind of come around. There's, like I said, the hood up, hood down.
Again, this soft good is got multiple wires in it too, so fully posable.
Incredible.
Cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, wow. He's this pack out is. When you see it on the character, you don't really think about it, but when it's actually laid out like this, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that is a lot. So this is with the face mask on.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And so this is what we were talking about earlier too, about like color designs. Originally, we were like on almost like an all black and red scheme, and then we kind of went with this purple black scheme, which I immediately fell in love with it after I saw it, but it wasn't like where we had originally kind of like in the concepting phase, at least like where we went with it. But this is it's hard. It's kind of like your children, you love them all, but it's one of my favorite figures in the line just because there's so much to it. It's a big part in our storyline. So in the comic book that we just released, there's a 20-page individual story about the Pale King, so you can learn more about the background of these characters and kind of how they fit into the larger, legendary story. So definitely kind of a key character that we're kind of developing, through the lore.
Absolutely. And these guys are just looking amazing. Okay, and then after that, we will take a look at Quick Jack, which we mentioned earlier. He looks, oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. Those are some crazy colors, man. Holy crap. Kind of reminds me of Yondu, actually. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's got a kind of Yondu vibe going on.
Yeah. Yeah, so this character is very polarizing. Either you really love these kind of crazy colors, or that's not part of your collecting, and you don't. And, I can get that too. All the characters that we did have, a lot more of a serious tones, and this character and the
The style of the character and also the character itself, you know, is a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more fun. And yeah, so we kind of wanted to kind of go crazy with this color scheme. And it's just kind of one that we wanted to have fun with. And, you know, it also has kind of like a very 80s retro vibe to it, with the, you know, cyan yellow and, you know, kind of all these different colors. So tons of paint applications on this one. I think this one has like the most paint applications of like any figure. But yeah, it was, again, just a little bit different. It kind of had, to me, just kind of had more of like a nostalgic kind of toy that I would have when I grew up, you know. And so I think that's kind of where we were pulling from, you know, as we kind of designed this one.
I get some diva vibes too from I don't know what it is. It's like, I think it's because it kind of like reminds me of her mecha suit. You know what I mean? It's all pink.
Yeah. So. You know, it's funny. So the original design for this character was all black with red accents.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So it had a completely more like Warhammer type of feel to it.
Yeah.
And or not, I should say, what's it called? Not Warhammer. What's Iron Man's?
The Hulkbuster kind of.
Yeah, it just had originally the design was like much more.
Warframe. Was that?
No,
that's
Warframe. You're talking about Warframe, or is it?
Someone in the chat, they definitely know who I'm talking about. Like Iron Man's like I don't know why I'm just like blanking out right now.
Oh, War Machine.
War Machine.
War Machine.
Yeah.
There you go. War Machine.
Yeah. Anyway, it was definitely like more in that direction of like gunmetal and black and red, and you know, it's crazy because maybe one day we'll do a variant like that or something. But it's like we kind of it shifted a lot again in the design process. And I remember when we saw this, we were looking at a bunch of different versions. And that one to us was just like so different and so unique. And I'm like, you know, to just kind of make this kind of very, you know, mech, all black, gunmetal, it would be cool. But I feel like on the shelf next to a bunch of other figures, it might just kind of blend in. Where this is exactly the opposite. It just kind of was just like something really different. And so, yeah, not always taking ourselves really seriously, you know, as we're building these different characters out.
Yeah, but like I said, it definitely has. I could easily see any of your characters in like an Overwatch situation. You know what I mean? Where it's just a whole bunch of eclectic, people from all around over the galaxy coming to an intergalactic conflict, right? So this one in particular, I'm really digging this one. I mean, like you said, it's polarizing. Either you love it or you hate it, right? But I love it. I don't know,
cool.
Danny. What do you think? I think it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna collect this game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna collect it too. Then we have the Void Walker, and this guy's
one of my favorites.
Oh my God, this guy's nuts. This guy's crazy.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
So
this
this-
was one of the first three that of the figures that were designed as well. So the Eternal Guard, the Spite, the Usurper, and the Void Walker were the first three characters that we designed. And actually, these are the characters that we went to Four Horsemen with and said, like, hey, these are the original, when we thought we were just doing three before things got really crazy. So yeah, this was one of the very, very first designs in the entire line. Jeremy, I think you're about to.
Yeah, and this was actually the first time, or I don't know if this is the first time, but yeah, one of the first times we actually showed him off without the hood. So traditionally we've showed him with the hood. Also, he has that detachable face mask. I'm not sure if we've shown that much as well, but yeah, seeing him. Oh, there you go.
So good.
Yeah, and seeing him with the posed cape and everything honestly comes to life. The cape also, same soft good with wired cape. But yeah, once you start posing that up and really twisting it around, it looks like the character's moving, or that, you know, it's in action, in movement, in motion. It like when you have I think we had one showing where he's kind of like flying through the air and attacking, and yeah, it just adds that kind of like next layer of motion to your like action figure shots, which is really cool. And then yeah, the dual tonfa blades, those were really fun. I think there was maybe a little bit of kind of like Star Trek inspiration, right, with like the Klingon the weapons that they have, and
the Bat'leth.
there.
Yeah,
Yep, and so this guy is basically hired, or you know, in affiliation with the Order of the Void, and it's this kind of like secret society of assassins, and not necessarily good or evil. It's just kind of like who is fronting the bill, right? Depending on which side he's going to be fighting for. So, yeah, he has the ability to kind of travel between the realms, and almost like a teleportation between the chain worlds.
We basically need like a whole nother comic book just on this character. I feel like he's got main character energy. I know I saw Chris in the comments saying this is one of his favorites. It's hard. I say this about like all the characters. I know this one's my favorite too. So this one also has a really cool paint application with like the blue has kind of like a pearlescent blue on the chest armor. You can kind of see even in this rotation kind of how that kind of like has that nice kind of shine to it. You can see there on the shin guards also removable. This guy's also one of my favorites. But
I love the sash with all of the daggers. This guy's literally a killing machine. You know what I mean? It looks really, really cool. The paint job is just top notch, and of course the soft goods just add that extra little touch, as you said, just flapping in the wind right there. It's so good, and that's wired as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see there. It's kind of all of the wires are posed up.
That is amazing. Wow, this is next level, guys. Like this is stuff that we love to see. And then I guess we'll end it off with the Obsidious.
You got it.
Yeah,
this is kind of like arch villain vibes, and so Obsidious Eternal Guard. They're like our main, or I should say, the story of the Fall of Mirror Prime follows this character in depth, and he's also part of the second story, which is on the Pale Kings. So you can learn a lot about this character through that story. There you go. It features debuted in that story, and kind of one of our arch villains in our book one that you'll read about here. That cape, C. Jessam outdid himself. That has like 8 different wires in it, so you can literally pose that. I mean, it's hard. I don't have it on me to kind of really just show in person, but that cape, kind of might be like 8 to 10 inches wide. Like you can kind of curl it out in so many different ways.
It's huge.
Each one of those sections, you can kind of see the wires running through each section. So you can kind of bend that and curl that in a ton of different, positions. It has like a really nice, it's like a two-tone, so black on the outside of the cape. The inside has this, kind of rugged, also weathered orange kind of design. And so what you're seeing here is first prototype of that cape. I think it has something like 8 or 9 wires in it at least.
Wow.
There's 3 on each side, and then the hood also has a wire there as well, so you can kind of bend that and shape that to it as well. So what you're seeing here is still the prototypes. These aren't even like our final production figures, but even at that stage, you can just kind of tell the detail. There's another shot of him there with the hood down, and what's kind of cool is that jaw articulates. So you can kind of get that mouth pose. I was looking at some of those Motu classics, trap draw, and I was like, oh, I want to do that with this figure to kind of have that kind of feature to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say this is one of the most popular figures. Just what that we've as we have been posting stuff, definitely has been kind of stealing the show.
Yeah, he's got Darth Vader, but at the same time almost like a Sauron type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
that's actually a good. That's a pretty good mix match of like Sauron. Yeah, he's like evil Sith vibes.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, not that there are any good Sith. I don't know how many good Sith.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is so freaking awesome. My God. And I think you teased this guy here, which we don't have any imaging from. Is this somebody new, or is this?
This is Arcturus. Maybe I didn't send you the image on this. You know why? When I originally sent you the file, it was so big I couldn't attach it. So then I broke it down into 2 sections, and I may have only sent 1 folder. So I apologize.
It's okay. Use WeTransfer. You can do up to 2 gigabytes.
Yes. Normally I can just upload it as a Google link, but for some reason it was giving me a hard time. I apologize. I didn't get to send
all good. Talk us about this guy since we have him right here.
Yeah, he's kind of more of like our spiritual healer character in the mix. So definitely on our good guy, good guy side. Has soft goods as well. You can see there on the lower cape. This is an animated thing that we put together, but has the translucent blue kind of gem at the top of the staff. Doesn't light up in real life, so this is an animation.
It is going to be glow in the dark plastic.
But it will be glow. Yeah, it'll be glow in the dark plastic. So it has translucent hands there and arms and other translucent pieces like gemstones in the mask. The mask is removable. This is
He looks cool.
kind of like our shamanic healer of Mirror Prime, which is kind of the home world of the Nibiru, and kind of will play again a bigger part. It's like we didn't have enough time to tell so much story of all these characters in the first book, obviously, because there's just only so much you can do. But we'll be telling more stories around all the figures, but around Arcturus as well.
Absolutely. I think I might have glossed over it. Let me just double check on what we have here. One of the other characters,
The Crimson.
yeah, the Crimson one. I just saw him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we got
Wonder
sent this guy,
Sight.
but this one looks who's this guy? This guy looks awesome.
yeah.
He's one of the
Yeah. So when Jeremy was talking earlier about the spite, which is kind of like the parasitic organism that conjoined with the Nibiru and kind of like overtook the Nibiru as like the host, they're kind of like our, the kind of, I guess, evil race of species that have kind of like taken the Nibiru, form. And so all of these characters you'll see kind of have like the kind of noted with the red skin and the kind of lava chest. This was one of the original 3 that I was telling you guys about earlier. This character's super loaded as well as far as accessories. It has the double-sided staff with double blades. That's actually an awesome shot that Ant Williams drew of him. So yeah, it has shoulder pauldrons, bicep pauldrons that pop off, tons of other stuff here. Translucent, or I should say clear plastic blades on the sword and staff. Also, we kind of touch on him in our story. I kind of keep going back to the comic just because it's because there's so much going on that like it's hard for me to go
You
through
have
all
to.
of it. Yeah, then that has a nice tunic, that soft good tunic with the printed design over the top. If you guys have questions, throw them at me.
Yeah. No, I'm loving the soft goods. It's like just next level on this. You know what I mean? Like, Just was really outdone himself. And you said that is this translucent, the blade itself, or is it?
Yeah. So the blades on the staff and on the sword is a clear plastic translucent. So kind of gives it a nice touch. It's kind of like it has those like Eastern inspired, outfit and design and kind of feeling, but also with a cybernetic kind of futuristic touch. So it's kind of like a blend of these kind of, 2 different points of inspiration.
Yeah. No, I'm loving it, guys. This is an incredible incredible look. If anybody wants to find out more about these characters and their backstories, you can definitely head over to metatravelers.com, click on the characters and lore section, and you can definitely spend hours here. You can literally spend hours here just learning about the lore and the characters. The digital aspect of this, talk us through what's going on here, guys, because obviously there's a whole bunch of components. You have the digital comic, but you also have these digital collectibles. Is that correct?
So we have 2 different things. So what you're seeing here, and this is something that was a tier of our Kickstarter that we didn't actually reach this tier, but we started to kind of build out a digital avatar of every action figure. And we still have plans and we have the ability to potentially be able to offer this stuff for collectors who have these figures. It's not something that we're working on right now because we're getting the physicals out. But the idea behind this was in this kind of world that we're entering where there's all these open, kind of open platform video games, and kind of if you're paying attention to the video game world of kind of being able to have figures and or avatars and go from world to world with them. The idea was, hey, it would be really cool if you could buy an action figure and then you could be your action figure in these digital spaces. And so we started to kind of build around that. And it's something that
I don't think I've ever seen any other project really do, where you have not only access to the physical figure, but then you also have access to the digital side of it. Now, I think that we're almost ahead of the curve in the fact that there aren't a lot of open worlds that are currently available, but it's becoming a bigger thing in gaming. And so we wanted to be able to kind of explore that, you know, where kind of physical meets digital, where you have, you know, basically the digital version of all the figures. And so it's something that behind the scenes we're still building out. And it's something that, you know, I'd love to be able to expand on in the future. And that's kind of part of that, as how the digital side works with the figures. We've also created digital avatars that people have, you know, like I said, have already been using, that are around the Nibiru race. So a lot of different kind of variations of Nibiru characters that we have used in gaming and in other kind of stuff. We've built out, Jeremy can kind of talk about this a little bit more. We've built out like Unreal Engine worlds that we were working on that are, you know, not hosted yet, but it's just stuff that we've kind of, as people who are gamers and lovers of all these different spaces, kind of building in a lot of spaces simultaneously, and then like trying to kind of figure out how we can, you know, offer that to collectors who are both fans of digital collectibles and physical collectibles.
That is incredible. So yeah, this is Jeremy, did you have anything to add? Because
I mean, you pretty much covered it, but yeah, there's a lot. There's just like a ton, obviously, of stuff that we covered here. That's just kind of the tip of the iceberg, right? Like I said, or like we said before, we've been working on this for years. And so, yeah, there's a lot of digital stuff. Now there's a lot of stuff in print. There's a lot of online stuff for people to check out, and, you know, tons of source material too for future action figures. And tons of ideas that we have to bring the existing action figures to life in new ways. You know, the other things we're experimenting with now are, you know, different ways to explore storytelling through, you know, cinema or 3D or animation or, you know, movies and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we're excited to keep, you know, bringing these characters into life in new ways and bringing new stories to the community.
absolutely insane. Todd's in the house. Hebro, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Christopher Bouchard says, hope for more Void Walker artwork. That's crazy.
It's coming.
Yeah. Night Train says, you can definitely see the inspiration behind all these, but they're so unique in their own manner. He-Man, Iron Man, Star Wars, etc. Absolutely. You can definitely see all those ones. And of course, Christopher's favorite is the Void Walker, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Shard says, I see Darkseid and Doomsday. Yes, 100%. You can definitely see all those parallels. And Frankie Rivera, this is dope. So
Jay, I know it's a little late, but I sent you a video just now. If you want, you can see if you can pop it open. And this is just something that we were working on as a very early prototype. It's not like an active game world, but it was something that we worked on for the better part of 6 to 8 months. That essentially Mira Prime, our home world for the Nibiru, we started building out and Jeremy did a lot of the heavy lifting of that, but it kind of shows some of the Nibiru characters in this world. That the idea was that it'd be kind of cool to learn about the characters and be able to like basically go into the world and like learn about the artifacts, learn about the different kind of pieces and components of the characters. So we had spent a lot of time building out, this game world. And if anyone has been, part of building games, that's a whole nother beast in itself. So that's just a cool video that shows. It's actually the character that you're following in that video is one of the original designs of the Eternal Guard, which shifted much from that design. But that's kind of like a V1 version that we made a really long time ago. But yeah, it's a completely, fully integrated Unreal Engine 5 world. So this is like our main kind of basically tower room that's called the Nexus Tower that you see in our action or in our motion comic and in our physical comics. And so that whole world was completely custom built. Yeah, we worked on this for a really long time too.
That is really cool. That is really cool. You guys are all set up to take on. You guys are all set up to take on Overwatch You guys can. I'm serious. Like, this feels very much like Overwatch, like League of Legends. You know what I mean? Like some really great. I mean, seriously, you guys are ready to go. You have environments ready to go. This is all Unreal Engine 3 or 5.
Yeah. And so that's just like a portion of the world. Like, there's a whole, like, I mean, it's pretty it's pretty vast. We worked on it with a bunch of guys from the gaming space, and yeah, there's a lot to it that we just are kind of can't do everything at once. So it's kind of like as we get through more, we'll like kind of share more stuff. But yeah, I thought that was just kind of a cool. Yeah.
This is incredible, guys.
I definitely play that.
To say I'm impressed would be an understatement. I think this is definitely.
We can see more of that digital cross toy kind of thing, Like back in the day, I think was it Skylanders kind of did something like that, and then the Lego, and that was it.
Yeah, with augmented reality and things that are coming, to fray, and all these really great new technologies. It's great to see that what toys is definitely stepping into a new realm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, even McFarlane's doing digital collectibles now. It's just really strange how he's doing it though is weird. He like it's like he's selling them in physical to sell the digital. It's just such a weird concept the way he's doing it.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah, I mean, the cool part is that these characters are built for the digital experiences, but obviously figuring out where to plug that into, whether that's through partnerships with other, indie toy makers or indie game makers, it's basically we've kind of built it out to be, compatible with these things. And so as the industry grows, as we continue to grow, we can keep connecting, different experiences for people who are, collecting, the figures and, interested in the lore. And, I'd love to get to a point to tell more intricate stories. And, so there's obviously, you have big dreams that there's only so much you can have to focus on one step at a time. But yeah, we're really building in a lot of different spaces kind of simultaneously.
Yeah. Here's a size comparison chart if anybody's interested in how this fits in with different world building. These guys would definitely fit in with A.W.E, which again, good friends of the channel. And yeah, these guys are definitely looking sweet. And nobody likes Star Wars anyway. So, jab. Yes, it was. Marvel Legends and, of course, Mythic Legions. I mean, of course, right? Like, guys, congratulations. This has definitely been an amazing look at it. If anybody's interested, you can actually pick these up right now on TitanToys.com. Definitely give them a pre-order. Once again, if you spend over $250 in products here on the site, you can be eligible for free shipping into Canada and the United States. It really is amazing. And of course, guys, you definitely want to sign up for our rewards program because this is a great way to earn new action figures. And if you just want to earn points right away, all you have to do is sign up. You get 200 points just for signing up, Danny. Just for signing up, you get 200 points. And for every dollar you spend on TitanToys.com, you get $2 in points, which lead towards a brand new figure. And then if you want to just get extra points, Danny, you just follow on X, Twitter, or TikTok. Sorry, Twitter has
easy points.
Twitter
easy
is
points.
100 points for TikTok, 100 points for X, 100 points for Facebook. And guys, TikTok is back, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows that, but TikTok never actually left.
Crazy times. Yeah.
Did you guys have a TikTok? Is that something that
we do? It's not. We're more active on Instagram right now, but we will cross post to TikTok from time to time. Definitely a popular. What is your guys' thoughts on TikTok as far as the action figure community goes?
I'll give you this much. AI has basically exploded with action figures. People are losing their minds with what's happening with AI and action figures, and I think that has helped to inspire a lot of younger people to take a look at it again. So with TikTok, that, I'm shocked, right? Like, I like Danny sent me Danny sent me a TikTok this morning. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I was like, wow, that's insane, right? Because again, it's just making our action figures come to life. And but I will say this though, just like anything else, I think stop motion is just wonderful. I think that the guys who are doing stop motion for BBTS Some other guys who are just doing stop motion type of things.
It's huge right now.
I don't think you can replace that. You know what I mean? AI
I think
does
it's a
its thing.
different art form. It's a different art form completely.
Yeah, I think that's really where it is. But in terms of social reach, I don't think you can beat TikTok. It's just an overall beast. But there's Instagram too. I mean, Instagram's great, guys. Follow Meta Travelers on Instagram, of course, all their social medias. And if you guys want to check out the history of how this thing went down, you can definitely check out their Kickstarter, where they raised over $192,000 to bring this to life. Incredible! Congratulations, guys. If you're interested in the comic book, definitely check them out on their GoDaddy, as well as their shop, where you can pick up their comic book. Why is this not zooming up? That's stuff. Why? You can definitely check this out. Legendary Book 1, Fall of Mira Prime. It's a graphic novel, $30 Canadian, but I believe that's $20 US. Is that the case?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys can definitely check that out. Read up on the lore, and if you guys don't like reading, well, then you can easily just head over to their YouTube page, because if you do that, you can actually take a look at the entire motion comic, which we did a preview today. That is a lot of fun. And you know what? I have a whole bunch of different friends who might want to end up doing some voice acting for this, because I think that they would love.
That'd be amazing
stuff. It'll be really cool. And of course, the guys, this is a really great backstory. I spent a couple of days watching all these videos. A lot of fun and really relatable, because no spoilers. It does involve Earth at a certain level, but for the most part, it's a really good storyline about discovery and about acceptance and really just people who don't want other people to have nice things. So yeah, guys, it's a great storyline. I'm being very vague here. I'm trying not to give too much away, but
I love that. Yeah.
But I see the inspirations from Star Trek and Star Wars and a lot of things, because these guys remind me of the Trill in a lot of ways, right? Where they have a symbiosis with each other, right? Not so much as like physical symbiosis, but more like a mental portion of it. And of course, the main character himself, I guess the easiest way to say it, he's lost in so many different ways, right? Not only him, but I guess his symbiote partner. They're both sort of lost. I think that's the easiest way to explain it. Again, I'm being very vague. I think you really got to watch.
There's a lot of things. Yeah.
Go read the story. Go buy the comic. That's I think the real answer here. The real answer is to go and buy the comic. So, guys, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. Do you want to share any smaller secrets or anything else we can expect for the line, or something else that you guys are working on? You don't have to, but it would be nice.
Well, I mean, we've got lots of other things.
Did we lose him right here at the end?
Yeah.
Did we lose him? I think he's on pause.
That's it. He was about to give you guys the scoop, but
it was on purpose. He pulled the cord right.
Yeah. Mic drop. But yeah, we just want to make sure we get the highest quality possible action figures in people's hands, and I think the rest will all take care of itself, right? People are going to want more characters. They're going to want more action figures. They're going to want to see more of the story of the characters that they got. All that's exciting to us.
Absolutely. Marco, any secrets you can share or anything?
No, I mean, I stay tuned. Like I said, we've definitely been working really hard on getting these figures to you guys, and for everyone who supported us, thank you so much. We have, like I said, more designs, more characters. As we kind of talked about at the beginning, this project has been a lot bigger than, just one particular set of characters or stories. So we have a lot more in the pipeline that is in development, and we're excited to kind of just keep bringing this stuff, to you guys. And, like Jeremy said, we're going to continue to write more stories and, have more figures lined up. And so we'll make sure that we'll hop on with you guys again in the near future and start to kind of show off future designs and kind of get people excited about what the kind of the next, kind of evolution of where we move from this. But yeah, I just want to, thank you guys again for having us on this.
Thanks for joining us
on this today with you guys. It was fun to just talk figures, but yeah, we have a bunch more stuff coming. So as you can tell, we already have a lot happening, but we definitely have a lot more in the pipeline.
We're excited, guys. Any conventions we can expect to see you guys at that you want to shout out?
You know what? We have a bunch that we're not completely confirmed at, so I don't want to like say anything just yet. We're waiting to make sure that we have figures in hand so we can be at as many events over this next 6 months. But we haven't been completely confirmed on those. So we'll probably update on our Instagram and on all of our other socials on all the different events we're looking to be at. But like I said, we're just kind of waiting to make sure that we're like locked in and that we also have figures in hand to be able to, show people and obviously sell you guys. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, we definitely have a lot on the calendar that we're eyeing. But I guess more on that as it becomes official.
Nice.
Excellent. Really excited, guys. So, guys, we'd like to thank once again Meta Travelers for being here, Jeremy, and of course Marco. Guys, thank you so much, and thanks to the creative team. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, some of the creators of Guardians of the Galaxy is involved in this, and of course some other wonderfully talented illustrators, artists, and 3D designers. And of course, the figures are looking absolutely incredible. Once again, if you guys are interested, you definitely can pick them up on our website at titantoys.com. They're readily available, and you guys can definitely pick these up. Just to reiterate one more time, though, guys, what is the expected timeline? Hopefully, I'm not putting a gun to you guys, but when do you guys expect these to start shipping?
We're hoping to start shipping by end of April. Hopefully, we're doing everything we can in our power to beat that timeline. But I would rather give a timeline that we're comfortable, so we can set the expectation right for everyone who's pre-ordering and collecting with us.
Excellent. Yeah. We are very excited to hear that, guys. So again, not going to hold it to them, but ideally sometime in April, we should be able to see some of these guys, at least maybe review copies. So that would be really great. All right, guys. I want to thank Titan Toys again for highlighting this, and of course inviting the Meta Travelers, Jeremy, and of course Marco. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, everyone.
You guys are welcome to stick around, or like I said, I know you guys are busy, so if you drop off, we totally get it. We're just going to continue on this last segment, Danny. And but if anything, we definitely would like to thank you guys for showing up again. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again, guys.
All right, guys. So take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys soon. So Danny, man, it's going to be quite the weekend. I think I'm going to end up ordering a whole bunch of these guys. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Like we already got them here on TitanToys.com, so why not, right? So.
Yeah. Well, the Obsidious guy is really sick. I like the cape and stuff. So
yeah,
and I can't wait to see like the playability with these guys. I can see taking some of their armor and pieces and putting them on other figures, right? So I want to see how that goes. But anyways, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're all about the surgeries here. Yeah, and you know what always gives me the concepts is like maybe if you kill one soldier, you basically pick up his armor and his weapons.
Yeah.
So then you basically add them to your thing, and you just like create the storyline of the play. You know what I mean? It's
cool,
pretty
man.
crazy.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so guys, we have some other things on the plate on the docket today. Let's take a quick look at some of the things that came up. So, Danny, are you into Ghostbusters at all?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Of course, man. Who isn't? Who isn't?
You'd be surprised who's not. I mean, like, there's actually a lot of people who don't like Ghostbusters. But a couple of us were on bated breath for these, as you guys might know. Mondo has announced a whole bunch of. Let me just remove this. Stop the screen. Share screen. I'm a professional here, guys. I know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, right. So a lot of us were actually on bated breath to find out what Mondo had in store for us, and they originally mentioned, because we mentioned this at the beginning, that they were going to have details for this after teasing it out on Wednesday. This was what they teased out on their Instagram page, and it I kind of took about. I was freaked out, Danny. I was freaked out. This thing scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I swear to God, I could not sleep for a few days. Like, if you watch this episode for the real Ghostbusters as a kid, I think genuinely you would have been scared out of your mind, because this thing, like, if you guys don't like, do you guys know which character this is, Marco or Jeremy? Do you guys know?
I don't actually.
Oh, okay. Jeremy, do you know?
I'm not sure. No.
All right, probably because he's behind closed doors right now. So this is the Boogieman, actually, from the Real Ghostbusters cartoon series, and Mondo featured this guy as a tease on I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, And people were freaking out because he was one of the anticipated figures in the line. Again, he gave nightmares to kids for years. And the caption was, "Details coming Wednesday." So many of us thought, okay, dang, the pre-orders are going to go Wednesday, right? Like that was one of the big things that we thought. And Wednesday rolled around and absolutely nothing. As you can see right here, there were no updates on Wednesday.
The suspense keeps going.
Thursday came around, there were no updates, and people were just starting to lose their minds. They're like, what's going on? What's happening? And it was actually the speculation by many people and many toy tubers that it might have had something to do with the tariffs situation, because everything's up in the air right now, as we talked a little bit about this at the beginning. Terrible tariffs. Really scary.
I'll say a little fun fact. Andy Lanning also wrote the real Ghostbusters comics.
Oh yeah.
So
Wonderful.
That's so funny.
Tying it all together here.
Yeah, right.
So he must know all about the Boogieman. He's a great character. But today, Danny, today Mondo dropped another teaser photo. This kind of freaked everybody out. So yeah, this one, of course, we do see the two characters who are going to be included in this pack out. So there's the Boogieman, there is Egon Spengler, and of course there's the flash bomb which they used to try and to wake him up. And now the caption is more coming next week. So I'm worried because, as everybody knows, I love Mondo. And of course I'm a little critical about the way they release their schedules. But usually whenever they do a tease the week before, the next week is when they actually open up the pre-orders. So I am a little bit concerned about that, because these figures are not overly expensive, but not exactly cheap either. I mean, the Peter Venkman and Slimer 2-pack is $101, and then the exclusive version with Sam Hain is $202. So that's like $100 a figure, right? So we can expect very much the same thing with Mondo here. And if we want to take a quick look at this, they did showcase these, Danny, at San Diego Comic Con. You and I took a look at them.
Yeah, we did.
Right? We actually saw them. And thanks to our good friends over at toyhabits.com, a wonderful news resource for toy news all year round. Yeah. Guys, definitely give them a follow. Tell them that Jay and Danny and Titan Toys sent you. And you know what? The Meta Travelers, tell them they sent you to. Toy Habits did send had a full article on this, highlighting the first two releases of the first wave, and these two guys obviously were front and center. There we see the first set that was already up for pre-order: Sam Hain and Peter Venkman, including Slimer. Great pack out, $202 for that set, or you can buy it right now on Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store for $101. But the next character in the wave is Egon Spengler and the Boogieman. Does he bring back nightmares or repressed memories to you guys at all? Jeremy?
So wild. Yeah, I don't remember the Boogieman.
Yeah, one of the most terrifying episodes ever. So I'm shocked that you guys don't remember him. He comes out of the closet to haunt the kids' dreams, and that's, I think, why it was really disturbing. It was two little kids coming to the spoilers ahead. I'm going to go ahead and say that. If you haven't seen it yet,
I blocked this out of my memory.
Yeah, it was that traumatic. Yeah.
Well, okay. So for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, spoilers ahead, because I'm gonna spoil it right now. But basically, in the episode, two little kids are haunted by this thing. Okay, comes to them every single night, and what they do is they're so terrified of this thing, they actually go to the Ghostbusters with their piggy bank. You got to watch this episode. It's one of the most trippy. It's one of the trippiest, but it's an awesome episode. They literally walk up to the Ghostbusters headquarters, have their piggy bank ready to smash it open, and they literally tell Peter Venkman, who of course is money man, they say, "We have about $10. Is that enough?" And of course, Peter being Peter, he said, "Well, our usual cost is $150,000 per ghost, but in this case, we'll make an exception." It was one of those things. But the thing is, he was actually going to refuse. But in the episode, it was actually Egon who said, "No, we're doing this regardless of how much it costs." And that was what kind of turned the tide. And we find out later throughout the episode, spoilers ahead, one more time, Egon was actually haunted by the Boogieman, and that's actually what got him into ghostbusting in the first place, because he wanted to be able to fight and capture this particular ghost so that no other kids would ever have to suffer what he suffered, the trauma that he went through as a child. These figures will be probably, not probably, they are going to be the Mondo exclusives, because the Boogieman is actually a Mondo exclusive. So the three of these figures, the Mondo exclusive Boogieman, including Egon Spengler, as well as the Chomper Ghost, I think that's what he called. Can't remember anymore. These three will be on sale probably in the next couple of weeks for sure on mondoshop.com for $202. That exact number, $202, as an exclusive for Mondo, or it'll end up being on Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store and other retailers for $101 for just the. I'm lost now. For just the Chomper Ghost and Egon himself with all of his accessories. But yeah, I'm very excited about this because these guys, and this guy's just a nightmare, of course he is. He's the freaking Boogieman. What am I talking about? I mean, come on. I'm just being rhetorical now. I'm just being absolutely rhetorical.
Love that variant head.
Yeah, just say, look at that's crazy.
Well, yeah, we're like
crazy.
this head has not been revealed yet. It's only been in concept sketches, right? But
I'm already traumatized.
Oh, I'm pissing my pants right now. He also comes like the regular pack out, the retail pack out will actually come with a I think it's a version of the Boogieman being sucked into the ghost trap. So that's going to be
cool.
That's going to be neat. So if you
right here,
you can actually see it. It's kind of right there, right? You can kind of see it. So yeah, the overall pack is really cool, and this guy looks freaking like he's got that Elvis hair. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. The big ears. But the concern that I think a lot of people are starting to have is, will he be articulated or will he be like Sam Hain that only has like, an upper waist, upper crunch, ab crunch, and his arms, because it sort of looks like that. His legs don't look like they move that much, right? So a lot of us have been waiting on Intergraph to find out more about what type of articulation we can get them to. But other than that, you can see Egon's freaked out. I mean, he's freaked out. I'm freaked out. This is just, this guy's. I don't know. I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm gonna pee my pants when I finally get this guy in my hands. But he is freaky. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Because it looks like his mandible moves. That just scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, it looks like there are some articulation, right? Yeah.
Looking at it closely now. Yeah.
He's got the little ankle at the bottom, and then the knee and the hip.
Does that mouth open? It looks like it too.
It looks like it looks like there's a mandible. Yeah.
Or the shoulder, elbow. I mean, they did a great job of hiding the seams. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why. Again, we just want confirmation as to what's happening. I love the tailcoats that actually help him stand. That's really clever.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, because he's such a top heavy figure, right? Like you'd expect him to fall right over. So really cool to be able to see this guy. But I want to see that secondary face. I think the secondary face is going to freak me out too much. Like, this guy's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. So yeah, guys, finally got some details on the Boogieman and Egon Spengler. Hopefully, we'll see even more announcements before the pre-order goes up, because as everybody knows, I'm very critical about that. And maybe we'll see just how much and what other features he actually comes with, because oftentimes Mondo usually gives us a little bit extra onto these guys. So. Danny, are you going to pick up the Boogieman?
The Boogieman, I want to see him in hand first.
Oh, it should also be noted that these are actually 1/12 scale.
I do like the scale for sure, 100%.
Yeah, they're not 1/6; they're actually 1/12. Right. So this is the first foray for Mondo into 1/12. So watch out, guys. They're coming.
I just want the Slimer.
They're coming for the legendary. You got to be careful about that too. Well, did you get the Slimer? Did you get Peter?
Well, no, he sold out before I can get him.
No, you can get him. No, you can go
on Time Toys.
Oh, yeah, okay. Don't talk toys, but we'll get more.
We'll get
more. I mean, look, like that's just the way it is. No, guys, don't worry. They will be available on Titan Toys. We got more coming. We got more coming.
Hey guys, I gotta run. I want to say thanks again so much. I'm gonna jump off, but we will talk again soon.
Thank you so much.
Marco. Congratulations, man. Congratulations again, brother.
Thank you so much. Take it easy, guys.
I'll be heading out too. But thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank
Look
you
forward
again,
to
guys.
seeing you with some updates. Yep.
Yeah,
Really,
appreciate
really
it,
quickly
guys.
before you guys go, where can people reach you, and what's the best way people can reach you, and any shout outs you want to do before you
Yeah, metatravelers.io. You can come learn about the figures. You can follow us on our socials at Metatravelers on Instagram. If you want to pick up the figures, head to Titan Toys. You guys can get some extra, you know where to find them. But yeah, follow us there on our socials, and that's basically it, I think.
Awesome.
Right, Jeremy?
This is awesome. Jeremy, any shout outs?
No, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the community.
thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. We will see you guys at the next convention.
Yeah.
Take
Take
it
care.
easy, guys.
Thanks again, man. Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys. So, where'd Danny go?
Hello.
Danny
You're
disappeared.
checking me out.
It was always great to see. It was great to see those guys, and man, I'm excited. Those figures are just looking.
I remember meeting them at
ridiculous.
we met them at Legion's
We
Con,
did meet
remember?
them at Legion's Con. Yeah, I wish I had time to interview them, but we were
there on another mission.
We were
right?
there
So-
on a real mission.
Yeah.
I think that was
was it,
that was a
you know.
big thing. And we accomplished that mission, Danny.
100%.
We did accomplish that mission.
But their setup was very impressive.
Oh
That's the one
gosh,
thing
I wanted to showcase that actually because they don't have a wide shot of it. It was like a comic book background. It was crazy. It was really nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. But guys, if you're interested, definitely check out Meta Travelers. We do have them available at TitanToys.com. So definitely head over there. Pick up a couple of. If you pick up pretty much all of them, you will earn free shipping within Canada and the United States. So there you go. And there's no tariff right now because we have, the miracle meeting happened, and yeah, there's at least for another month.
Another month.
Another
Let's
month.
see.
We're okay. So order them now. Don't
Right.
don't wait, guys. All right, guys. The last thing I wanted to touch on really quickly was let's see here. Did I have one more? Yeah. Actually, you know what? We are winding down here, Danny. We wanted to touch on. You know what? I'll do one more segment just really quickly. The new line of G.I. Joe figures has been announced, and a surprise. It was a surprise. I didn't know it was G.I. Joe Day. Did you know it was G.I. Joe Day on the weekend? I had no idea.
That I didn't know.
I had no idea. So yeah, I was like, I think we were all caught off.
It was
guard.
classified.
It was classified. It was huge classified. It was a huge classified.
So
That was
classified.
what it was. But yeah, so G.I. Joe Day 2025. Didn't even know it was a thing. Like I know G.I. Joe Day, but I didn't know it was on February 1st. I did not.
What was that? It was actual.
Yeah, it was
like,
actually February 1st. February 1st.
The B Day.
Right there, February 1st is G.I. Joe Day.
Oh wow.
This comes to us from our good friends over at histank.com, news.histank.com. These guys are always a wonderful resource for G.I. Joe news all year round. Give them a like and a follow. Tell them that the Titans Talking Toys sent them. Yeah, a lot of crazy announcements this past weekend. So much so that it was kind of overwhelming, Danny.
The mech thing was cool.
Yeah, so that's actually what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we are kind of winding down. We don't have enough time to talk about every single one. Let's just do a shotgun,
Sure.
really, really, really rapid fire kind of thing with this,
Yeah,
Danny.
let's
Let's
go
just
to
do this quick.
Jeep.
Yeah, the A.W.E. Striker
Or what
with
is it?
with Crankcase.
Doombuggy.
Yeah, with Crankcase.
Mhm.
Yay or nay, Danny? What do you think? Good stuff.
Yeah, man. Anything with vehicles, come on.
But people are like, what's with the handicap chair at the
Is that right?
Yeah. What do you think of that? What do you think about the third wheel here? What do you think about the third chair?
You get creative with it. That's it.
You get creative with it.
Right. It's there for a reason. Like you need a guy there shooting, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people are saying it looks better if you actually take the roll cage and the chair out. It looks like the original AEW Striker.
Nice.
Right? So a lot of people are AWE Striker.
And the wheels, some people complain about the wheels, right?
That's the thing, right? So
Yeah,
but what are your thoughts that like does it look like a handicapped vehicle all of a sudden, or is it like because
without the figures in it, potentially, right?
Yeah.
But I get the reasoning behind it too, right? So
Yeah.
But would I prefer without it? Probably look.
And I should correct myself. I meant accessible vehicle.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say it that way. But people have done renders or re-rendered this by taking out the top roll cage and taking out the chair, and it looks exactly like the A.W.E. Striker, the whatever the heck. I can't. I'm tripping over my words here.
I'm sure there's going to be like people 3D printing wheels and accessories and parts for this.
Do the wheels really bug you?
Well, I don't care too much, but I've seen other people do this kind of thing with some of the other vehicles, so I wouldn't be surprised if we'll see some customizers and stuff on this one.
Do you think people are just compensating for some issues here?
Yeah, what?
Do you think maybe they're
with the bigger wheel?
They're a little subconscious about something? Is that?
Well, it could be, right? But I don't know. Bigger the better. I don't know. I don't know. Bigger wheels the better.
Oh my God, the bigger the better, right?
Right.
I mean, like seriously, what's an extra 2 inches, Danny? Like everybody can.
Damn. PG,
Everybody.
Remember PG?
I am.
You don't want me to go down that
I'm
route.
talking about the size of the wheels. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
like the wheel size.
That's right.
An extra inch, Danny. Come on.
100%.
Man, what's this guy thinking?
Know.
It's comes with a whole host of accessories though. It comes with those 2 antennae. It comes with the ammo boxes. Actually, those aren't antennae. Those are full metal.
They look like spines.
They do, but they're full metal jackets. If you look closely, they're actually bullets.
Oh, they're bullets.
Yeah, that's what they look like. I made the mistake just now. There's the ammo cases themselves, gas canister, 2 rockets for the rocket launchers, a toolkit, and of course, it comes with crankcase. It's not. Is that crankcase? Actually, now think about it. Who is that again? So I get this.
I swear there was a transformer named the same thing.
I think so. I don't think it's crankcase. I think it's it is crankcase. A.W.E. Striker with crankcase. Yeah,
Crankcase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crankcase looks pretty cool. Definitely very very similar to the way he looked in the toy.
Oh yeah.
So
That's cool, man.
very very cool to see him. You gotta love that porn stash. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not even gonna bother candy coating that one. That is an 80s porn stash if I've ever seen one, dude. You know that. You know what Tom Selleck once said? He goes, and it was in Major League Baseball. He goes, he goes, free autographs for the kids and mustache rides for the ladies.
No,
So,
I see what's going on.
that was about as PG as I can make it, guys. I can't really make it any more PG than that. He comes with a bunch of different swappable helmets. He has the off-roading bike helmet. He's got the goggles and the standard issue. He's got goggles for the bike helmet too, a bandolier, and he does have off-road sun visor.
I like that, yeah.
The Yo-Jo Stanley Cup. Is that a Stanley Cup, Danny? I think that might be a Stanley Cup.
Oh yeah.
Not the Stanley Cup, a Stanley Cup. I think that was smart, honestly. He comes with a knife, a sidearm, and a pair of goggles. What do you think, Danny? Final thoughts? How much do you think this is going to cost? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good question, man. I don't know, probably like 80 to 100 CAD.
CAD. Yeah, I was about to say.
So it's like 70, 80.
Yeah. But I think it's probably going to be closer to 80 and up US, honestly.
Oh, okay.
But it's not a crowdfund. It's not a crowdfund. So that's what you do.
But just get it from Titan Toys.
Yes,
and
exactly.
You get some deals.
Once we get this up on Titan Toys,
use your points.
Exactly, use the points. And of course, the code. Say it, Danny.
Danny Green.
There you go.
Check out. Save your 5%.
Exactly. 100%. That's how that runs. All right, I like it. I think it's a good. I'm
gonna buy it.
Vehicle.
We're gonna buy it.
It's gonna heal my soul for one of the vehicles I actually lost. But anyway, all right. Along with this, we also got an announcement for. Why did it do that? Oh, technical difficulties all over again. My gosh. All right, here we go. So we also got Breaker. Looking pretty cool. Definitely a Joe that we need. And this is Danny. They're going to the Sunbow cartoons because this is part of their mass line.
Oh yeah, I did see.
Right?
What's up with that?
The mass line is okay. So if you remember in the Sunbow cartoons, Danny, mass was the opening series of the show where they gathered different materials from different parts of the world. They needed the lava from a different section. They needed the ruby, the water from a different part of the world, and they needed the gold from a different part of the world. So I think it was sand. Actually, now that I think about it, it was a sand. And Crankcase actually comes with the sand.
I was going to say, what's up?
Yeah, that's the actual
It's like
mass.
a lipstick thing.
Yeah. So I think that at the end of this, you actually have to build the mass device somehow. I don't know how exactly, how much
It's
further.
like kind of like a build of thing.
I think it's a build a figure. Yeah, kind of like the Indiana Jones build an arc. Right.
Okay,
I think they're doing the build the
Nice.
build a mass device.
Build a mass.
Build a
All right,
mass.
we'll build it then.
Right. Crankcase looks really cool here. Sorry, Breaker. Breaker looks really cool here. I like the bubblegum.
The bubble.
The bubblegum. It's kind of like Boom Boom.
Is it removable?
Remember Boom Boom?
Boom Boom?
Yeah, Boom
Oh,
Boom.
that's the okay, yeah.
Yeah, from Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends Boom Boom.
Boom.
Very much the same thing. I don't think it's removable.
Okay.
I don't think so. Why would it be? You're going to see this puckered up lips.
You
He's
put
the
something like a cigarette in there. or
No.
something.
Yeah, right.
I don't
More like something else you put in there. Big sausage.
what? That?
Hot
Oh,
dog.
he's hungry, right? I think the biker mice actually come with hot dogs, but that's
I'm
besides.
sure they do.
They do.
I'm sure they do.
Chicken. Anyway.
Huge schlong.
Yeah.
Mushroom.
With
Hot
the
dog.
bun, with the bun.
The bun.
And it's got mustard and shit on it. Anyways.
Oh my god. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. He comes with a great helmet with, of course, his aerial to talk into. His huge backpack, which of course he is a communication specialist. He's strapped with some E4. I'm kidding, guys. I don't know what that. I'm pretty sure that's all communications devices here. And also
it's
one
not
sidearm.
C4, right?
That's what that was the joke. That was see, Danny got it. Danny
It
got
took
it.
me a minute.
Danny got it. It took him a second, but he got it. He finally got it. What do you think of Breaker, Danny?
He's cool.
He's okay.
He's okay. Nothing crazy, right? But
He's your standard Joe.
yeah, exactly.
But he was on screen and he was part of the Sunbow cartoon.
Yeah.
So very cool to see that. Another great mass device connection is the two diver packs, Cobra versus Joe. Now, if anybody hasn't figured this out, in the actual cartoon, when they went to go find the water section, which is actually what they're included with, you can see the water for the mass device right there.
You'd see these guys like a mile away.
That's the problem, right? So in the show, right,
Like beacons.
they literally fought each other underwater, and just to identify who was who, because it's
They want to kill their own guy. Right?
Cobra could not be wearing blue, which is what they normally wear, so they put them in red, and the Joes, I don't know why they put them in yellow. They're going all Power Ranger on us.
Yeah,
Isn't that Power Ranger? These are the Power Ranger colors. We just need the other five. We need a blue, we need a black, and we need a pink.
They're
We need
massing. Mass.
They are massing the whole thing.
They're massing.
They got a couple masks.
Yeah, right. There you go.
There's a crazy pack out though. 2 divers. They got a whole bunch of different armor. They got rifles. They got shotguns. They got all the Nerfers coming back. They got fully automatic guns. They got obviously two rebreathers. The pack, which of course is with G.I. Joe and Cobra on the back. Why wouldn't
These
you?
guys would sink to the bottom carrying all that shit.
Of course they would. They need their waiters.
They'd be like anchors.
They have to. They need that. They need the weight. They need it all. You're not wrong.
Right?
And they come with 2 different heads. They have a light-skinned head and, of course, a darker skin figures. Great stuff. They have
everybody
harpoons
here, which is great.
Yeah, they have harpoons, all color-coded too. It's like Mega Man's upgrading powers.
Right.
They got the flippers. They got the machete. Imagine.
You need a machete in the water.
Can you
right?
swing a machete in the water? Have you ever tried? I tried swinging something in the water. It'll go this way. It'll go that way. It will not. It will not go
It's
the
like
way.
slow motion.
It won't go the way you want it to. Right?
You get eaten by
A
that.
knife is a better idea. I think the knife would work a lot better. I don't know why, but anyway. And they also have these little motorized
Harpoons.
where they hold on to them. It just pulls them, right? So each of them have those, and it looks really, really cool. What do you think? Price on this one, Danny?
It's a 2-pack, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Did they actually have the prices here? I don't think so.
It's a lot of accessories.
Yeah, they did not have the prices here, unfortunately. But what do you think? $60, $80? C80.
Yeah.
C80.
Yeah, $80.
$80 C80. Yeah, probably $60.
$40.
$60 US, $80
person. $30.
CAD,
$40.
which is an ouchie in my pocket, Denny. That hurts. That hurts a lot. So that'll do it for the mass devices, as well as the AEW Striker. Very cool stuff. Moving on to the retro cards, these are kind of neat. We have a much anticipated version of Falcon, and he's got his pretty boy looks back. He doesn't look like a mutt. What did you think of the first head sculpt for Falcon, Danny?
Remind me.
It looked ugly as hell.
I don't even think I grabbed that figure.
He got hit with the ugly stick. Like he literally got hit with the ugly stick. It was really, really weird. He had the fedora. I don't know if you remember. He had a little fedora, and
No.
his face was like literally he looked like a mutt. This is a pretty boy, very Don Johnson in its overall appearance. Looking pretty cool.
Better,
I like it better too. I think he looks really, really neat. Kind of reminds me of Flint though.
Yeah, 100%, right?
Yeah, is this Flint? Now I'm gonna put my
be
foot
Flint.
in my mouth.
Let's see.
Is that Flint?
Let's go.
It is Flint. See, I knew.
Flint.
See, I'm all. People are yelling in the comment section. Right now. People are like, "That's Flint." I don't know what I'm talking about, Danny. I don't even know why I'm doing this show. I shouldn't be on this show. Danny knows better than that. That's like Danny's like, I don't remember this guy. Who are you talking about?
I don't know why they should have they should pack it with extra heads. Like the guy's straight faced.
Danny always wants a little head. He wants a little bit of head. It's just what he does. He wants more head.
I got a lot of jokes there, bro. But
you know what? I'm just talking about. I'm only talking about GI Joes here. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
You need a head with the open mouth or yelling or. In war,
you want an open mouth head, Danny? Is that what you just said?
Like he's got to be. I'm gonna shut up. Next figure.
Open the door. Open the door and walk right in. Literally, open the door and walk right
Next
in.
figure. Maybe that one has an open mouth.
Oh my god! Danny.
Yelling.
Okay, yes, yelling mouth. Yeah, Yo Joe.
Yo Joe. Yeah.
Yo Joe.
Does this guy scream Yo Joe?
Yes,
No, he's looking like
he's screaming already. Yeah. He's screaming.
He's too serious.
Because of the great backpack, two flares, I think, at the back, or maybe those are filled with sake. I don't know. 2 fists, a pointing finger. There's a finger for you too, Dan.
Right.
If you want that finger, you can have a finger.
Where's he pointing?
Wherever you want.
Where does he want to? Anyway.
He's going to point wherever you want it to. 1 sidearm and a shotgun. He also comes with a stand. Great stuff. Thoughts? Cool. Final thoughts on Falcon? On Flint? Flint.
Definitely an improvement.
Yeah, I think so too.
This is one I would like to get for sure.
I like the smirky
this is the OG right here.
I like the smirky little attitude he's got. Yeah. A little scar on the top of his eyebrow. Very cool. Then we got something really neat. Not really neat, but I think we can always use another army builder, Danny. The Televipers.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much your standard thing, but I like. There's your heads, Danny.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
He's got 3 heads for you, but yeah, they all have the same. They have the same. Like,
come on,
I know. I think that is the tragedy. The what the head needs to have that. Now there's your gaping mouth, Danny. That's where you gotta just open your mouth and let him take it. You know what I mean? Like that's
dropped the ball.
That's crazy.
Missed opportunity.
Yes, missed opportunity here. The alert should have him doing again like some sort of freaky face, but it's a cheap. This is a cheap one. All they did was print the same 3 heads and put words on it.
Come on, guys.
I know.
It's lazy.
Danny's disappointed. How disappointed are you, Danny?
Extremely. I'm not buying. I'm just kidding. He's cool, but you know what? Doesn't this guy come with the thing? The
Trouble
bubble?
Bowl? Yeah, he does.
But I'd rather get that one, anyways.
Well,
but this one's cool too if you want to troop build and shit.
Yeah. The other thing is they should be reversed. The letter should actually technically be reversed. But yeah, because you're looking. He's reading it, right? Like I don't know. That's just
he wants you to know.
Apparently so. But wouldn't it make it more fun if you put him on the glasses? Right?
Oh yeah.
Is he taking or receiving, Danny? Like what's he doing?
Come on. Still daylight outside. Still daylight.
He's getting data transmissions. What are you talking about?
So he's just
he's receiving. Or is he?
Oh, that's right.
Is he receiving or like?
No, he's receiving. Yeah, he's transmitting. He's transmitting what he's receiving. Oh shit! He's got that.
He's getting.
Oh man. Next guy.
Anyway, we got the backpack. We got the hose with the. Apparently, that is a sonic disruptor.
Oh.
Yeah, it actually fires sonic pulses.
Okay.
It gives you headaches and stuff. Apparently, that's what that is.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he wears the helmet.
It's a big bazooka.
So he doesn't hear.
He's receiving. He's actually receiving. He's
got a pole.
He's got a long pole. A really big pole. That is a big pole.
What's the pole for?
And finally, Danny, for the retro cards, we do have a version.
Who's it? Yeah, I seen this girl. Who's this?
That's Covergirl.
Oh, that's the cover. Okay, that's a retro.
That is retro Covergirl, and
she's got the spine thing. It looks like anyways, Sub-Zero finish him.
What the hell are you talking about?
The head. It looks like the spine. Anyway.
Oh my god, there's not a spine.
I know it's right here. I'm just fucking around. I'm just effing around.
So good. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hold up the hair and like
Yeah,
finish him.
yeah.
It's like fatality. Oh my gosh, Daddy, you're crazy.
But she's got a huge hammer thing.
What is with that? That must have been
She's
from
ready for
an episode.
construction.
That must have been an episode of the show. She can't even lift it.
No, I'll help her.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure. Like, I'd help her too, Danny.
Right?
I'm not
My God! If
I'm
she
not
was
even
real, sorry,
she's
Anyways,
not as real as I can.
that's as true as she's gonna get.
So the first Covergirl did not really adhere herself to fans. A lot of people are looking forward to this version of Covergirl. She's got her classic fatigues, which look great. I think the only thing missing is her flight jacket. I think a lot of fans are kind of like, "Where's the flight jacket?" Right? Because that was what she was known for. She was known for her flight jacket. Yeah. But because of the swappable head, Danny, I think you can take this and put it on the other Covergirl, and everybody be happy.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Good call.
She's got Pitt's Garage on the top there. Great signature piece of the character. She's got a sledgehammer, which I'm pretty sure that happened in the show or in the comic. I don't know how. It's not exactly a small sledge. It's a gigantic sledgehammer. She's got a rifle, sidearm, a standard Joe rifle, as well as a monkey wrench. And I think I remember that. I remember her using that in the comic book for sure. And she looks pretty cool. I think might be using mostly parts from Lady J, possibly. I could be wrong, but I think so. But what do you think, Danny? What do you think of the new Covergirl?
Definitely an improvement. Multiple heads, which is great. Yeah, it's definitely retro, right?
At least she's got two different expressions, Danny.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. Like, so she can be happy while she's fighting, or she, super serious.
She's just happy to see you, Danny.
Yeah,
that's she's just happy to see you. So I think the Retrocratic Collection is definitely a win. And to round this off, there were 3 brand new figures and vehicles. I guess we can call it a vehicle. So there are 3 brand new figures and a vehicle. And I don't want to get this wrong, so let's just double check on this. So Darklon and Slice and Dice 2-pack. So Darklon, who I barely remember this figure. I think he was like way at the end of the line. I believe he was a ninja, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody, again, correct me in the comment section. Really interesting, and 2 head sculpts for you, Denny. Once again,
perfect, beautiful.
You get more heads than you expected, Denny. I really do like the first head sculpt. It looks kind of neat. Second one is very freaky, man. It's got this skull mask with a tongue hanging out, and man, that is one. Oh,
sword too is interesting.
Where are you going? She wants the spotlight again. Yeah, that is
like a Thundercat sword.
I don't know about Thundercat.
I don't know. It's got the little red thing there.
It's more like a Conan the Barbarian, demon sword. But yeah, definitely.
And he's got a little pistol.
And it's even got a scabbard to boot. That's like crazy. We got some Dr. Mindbender pants. Look at those Dr. Mindbender boots, man. Look at those Mindbender boots. I never thought. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that they could reuse those boots for anything. I was wrong.
I don't think it'd be safe to keep your bullets by your ankles.
Those aren't even bullets. What are those? Those are grenade shells. Grenades, man. Imagine you get shot in the leg.
Saying. You'll take off. You'll take off like a rocket.
Mind you, they keep wearing them across their chest. They put ammo pouches right in front of their freaking bullet. I asked a guy one time who was in the military. He's like, yeah, it gets shot. It doesn't really go off. I'm like, really? It doesn't go off? I don't know how it does. Crazy. I'll bet you one in a million it'll go off. That one in a million, that guy's gonna have a really bad day.
Yeah,
that guy's gonna have a really bad day. Comes with another, and this. Wow, look at that! Look at how that is. What is that? A mini Gatling gun? Oh my god!
It's like a one-hander kind of Gatling thing going on there.
People are into that one-hand thing. We also is that a flare gun? I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I think it's like a. That is. It looks like high caliber.
Like a revolver kind of.
It's got to be.
Anyways,
I don't think it's a flare gun, but it definitely is some sort of revolver. Crazy.
With all the weapons he's got, and they give him this thing after, anyway.
Danny's a bit disappointed, and he also calls it one dagger.
But he looks cool.
He looks cool. I think that he's a very cool.
His colors are kind of off,
Yeah, I think that the brightness needs to be pulled up on this. I don't think he looks that dull. I could be wrong though. I guess
he's kind of camouflagey, but then he's got them yellow pants.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And then another pair of ninjas, the Slice and Dice.
Well, these guys are cool. I like that.
These guys are neat. Look at that pack. Look how many weapons they come with. God, this is an arsenal. We got 2 dragon head axes. We got 1 sai, And we got two size actually. This is like both versions of Raphael are right here.
They kind of look dinky there, but I like
That's
more
not
the
dinky. That's freaking gigantic, man. That is a.
Looks like a shredder thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
for
crazy.
sure.
Very, very much inspired. They got a couple of kunai on the sash. I don't know. Is that a cod piece? Is that a freaking cod piece?
They got to protect.
Oh my
everything.
god! Yeah, you got to protect the family
Right.
jewels. There's your head. There are your head swaps, Danny.
No, this is cool. I like the
All the head
amount of head you
swaps.
get here. Heads.
Very stoic, very demonic.
I like the
Very-
mask is cool. Look at that. You definitely could troop build.
It's like a monkey or
Right.
something. I don't know what that is. And then you got the ones on the heads too. Like these guys.
Yeah,
Look at that. We got a Televiper here. No, not a Televiper. Just a Viper. We got a Viper head. We got this thing. Wow, Demon's head.
Mhm.
Guys looking
He was hungry.
kind of crazy there. We got the straw hat.
Yeah, this I like this stuff. That's cool.
Very samurai.
Yeah.
Actually.
Very
You know,
definitely be using on other figures.
100%. Then we got that gigantic glaive, which is kind of neat. The Chinese glaive, the Japanese glaive. We got another poncho here, Danny.
It's all about the ponchos.
They love their ponchos,
We
man.
need ponchos
They love their
nowadays.
ponchos. They
You gotta
love
stay
them.
warm, you know.
It's cold out there, Danny. It's cold out there. And then I think this was most of these bits are shared with many other ninjas that have already been released, but they do look cool. Got karate chop hands, fists, gripping hands, and pistol hands. They got those crazy Chinese, whatever the hell these things are. Those things are nuts. I would not want to fight a guy with
I
those
think in
things.
Mortal Kombat, Cabal.
Cabal does, yeah. Those are the
he
same
uses
thing.
that shit.
Cabal for sure, and then the short swords.
Yeah.
Neat. But the big question mark, Danny,
Mhm.
is the snake armor.
Oh, I like this.
Oh,
This is
dude,
cool.
let me tell you something, okay? Like this thing is a conundrum because a lot of people are wondering, okay, Danny? Let me ask you the very first question you ask when you see this thing. Go ahead, say it.
What does the Joe go in? Can you put the figure inside there? Or what?
Exactly. Can a Joe fit inside this monstrosity, right?
Hmm.
So I think a lot of people have actually tried to figure that out. As a matter of fact, if I can pull
You
it
know
up properly.
the first Joe live action. You know how they had the suits.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
it supposed to be this kind of thing?
I think that there was a hint at it. I think that some people were trying to, say, yeah, you know what, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, whatever, right? But I'm not sure it actually went anywhere, because they couldn't afford a mech suit animation that big. I think that's what ended up happening, right? So, Denny, a lot of people are. If you remember the original version of this, let me just bring it up. So we'll just stop the screen. We're gonna present. I'm a professional here, guys. I know exactly what I'm doing. And take a look at this, Danny, because this is always a lot of fun if I ever find it. So the original version actually looked pretty neat, and it did actually have the ability to put a character in there. This picture was provided by William Weiss, and dude, can you believe it? $2.97 for Joe's back in the day. $2.97. Now that was about $3.50 here in Canada.
I remember seeing them in Byway. Remember Byway?
Byway is a great store.
Remember?
Byway is a great store. But as you can see, Storm Shadow is already inside the suit of armor right there, right? So now a lot of people are wondering, can they fit in the new snake armor? Well, a lot of fans have tried to come to the rescue on here. So what the hell? That is not Full Force actually did post a couple of concepts for that. Unfortunately, they're way further down than I was expecting. But we will take a quick. There it is. So this is the first image that Full Force put together, and what this does is actually showcase that it comes with a flame effect, which actually happens to be the same flame effect that was included with Torch. So this flame effect right here is the same one as you can see here.
Mhm.
So using that flame effect and the size, which actually is not really 100% accurate because we don't know if they shrunk them because these are just standard promotional fixtures.
Mhm.
But if we were to imagine that this flame effect is the same as this flame effect, then this is how big Torch would be to the snake armor. So now a lot of people are like, how the hell is he going to fit in there, right? But if you actually fold his legs up, Danny, right, like really well, if you fold his legs up really well, tuck him in really, really compactly, I think what's going to happen is the width of this thing is going to be huge. What do you think? I think
there wasn't there. I swear I'd seen an image or something
I don't know if I've
where
ever
the
seen it,
figure
yeah.
was
I haven't seen it yet. Have
Anyway.
you think there's one out there?
I think
We might be able to find one. But other people have and if you remember, the very first one was the Super 7. No, that's the Super. Yeah,
But
maybe,
I'm saying that they were doing that already, right?
they tried, yeah. So Super 7 did, but he's got no legs.
That's one way around it.
He's got no legs, Danny. Where are the legs?
Where's the legs?
Where are the legs, Danny? He's got no legs.
But the old school, the original one, the figure would go in.
Straight up.
So
Yeah,
chances
because
are
everything was
going to
hollow.
happen.
It's just a shell, right?
Yeah.
But this one, because of
this is the
Baldylocks.
this is the image I was talking about.
Yeah, so Zen Pimptel, Baldylocks, he decided to try and get him in there. I think he's too small.
I think he's gonna sit inside.
He's gonna sit.
Yeah,
he's gonna sit for sure. And he did the same technique. You see the size of the flames.
Yeah.
So Baldy figures it can happen. I think it's gonna happen too. And
people would be so pissed if you couldn't fit your figure in there.
Yeah, this one, Adam Bradley Freeman also decided to take a crack at it. I think the legs will go really tight. I think it's going to be like all the way up. So I think this thing is going to be gigantic, Danny. This thing's freaking massive.
I think it's cool.
As another idea, Tim Tilley reminded us that I can't remember who it was, but one customizer came up with this idea for the flight pod. And this looks pretty neat.
With the legs. Right?
Yeah, with the legs. And it kind of gives you the idea of how thick. I think this actually might be how thick the snake armor will end up being. If somebody in the comment section can tell me who made this custom, I want to give them some credit. But Tim Tilley is the one who posted these images. But that's about it, Danny. A lot of great news happening in the toy world, and a lot of great things to expect from everything going forward. This is going to be a great time for toy collectors, guys. RoboGeek 1973. Easy points if you actually go on the site. Absolutely. Keep buying from accumulate those points. The Titan Toys points program is one of the best around. I think so, Danny. What are your thoughts on the Titan Toys program?
It's probably one of the best, right?
You
get 2 points for every dollar,
so.
right? Versus most places they give you 1 per 1.
I think so. Like for every dollar spent, you get 2 back. It's crazy. Sherlock, my IG feed needs a break from the AI toy photography.
I know it's getting much, but it's cool at the same time.
It is.
Anyways.
Constantine, what's going on, my friend? Paraskeva. I think I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. Last year, Mondo said February 2025 to be taking and showing more about 2000X, so I genuinely hope they stick to that because I need to plan my divorce around how I'm buying figures.
Wow.
I don't even want to go. Man. I don't even want to go there, bro. I don't even want to go there. Man. But you do you, man. You do you. I'm not. I don't give advice on that at all. But bro, that's. You got a plan. The man has a plan, Danny.
At least.
The man has a plan.
Most don't. So
the man has a plan, and he's gonna stick to that plan.
Don't veer from it. You're in trouble.
Oh my gosh. King Collector. That Sam Hain looks really good. He's awesome. Unfortunately, he is now sold out. So if you didn't get him one time, but he does come in the smaller version with the Ghost Trap. Night Train, these are cool, but not my budget. Brother, they are available, and you can always pick them up on we're going to be taking pre-orders here on Titan Toys. So whenever you're ready, bro, whenever you're ready. Randall Gozig, what's going on, brother? Came in late. Did you guys talk about the Transformers HasLab today? We don't have time. We'll probably get it on the next round, but it does look pretty cool.
Leo Kaiser.
Good old Japanese. That's all they got left. I think the Japanese.
They're
versions.
running out, man. That's it.
It's crazy. King Collector, I want the figure more than the vehicle. Yes, I think he definitely looks cool. Sherlock, the question is, will the snake armor be more expensive than the A.W.E? That's actually possible because again, this thing's gigantic. This thing's huge. Yeah. Yao, what's going on, my friend? Seguro, what's going on, my brother? I'm pretty sure I said that right. Yao. I'm pretty sure I said. I apologize, my friend. I'm not very. I'm so.
One of them.
I try. I at least try. What's going on, brother? How are you doing tonight? Jay, did you see the price of the Storm Arena Ken Alpha 3? Beware, Chair of the Toys. Beware. So Storm is really coming for everybody, which is great. I think more competition in the market is better than not. What are your thoughts about the new Storm Arena?
You know what, man? They're going to give Jada a run for their money, I think. the thing is super articulated, it looks like, and you know, the Storm always does awesome stuff.
I think so too.
Now they're getting 6-inch, yeah.
But mind you, they're not in stores, so that I think is the big difference because Jada is in stores. Jada's
True,
in
yeah,
Walmart,
yeah.
Target, you know, all those other places. So, and I'm wondering at the price point, right? So, according to Zhao, it looks like it might be affordable. So, Danny, can you bring it up? Can you give us
they're $27 US.
Holy crap! That is coming for Jada. Wow.
Yeah.
Has he sold out yet? I'm pretty sure.
They just went up today.
Oh my god.
So it's like $40.
We will have them here on Titan Toys.
Oh, yeah.
You
They're going to go up.
You don't have to worry about
Stay
that.
tuned, guys.
So if you guys need them, definitely check out.
I'm
TitanToys.com.
excited for those. I love Street Fighter, and
100%.
I've been collecting Jada.
Especially the way they look.
Oh,
Those are just insane. But mind you, we do actually have. You want to grab DJ there? We do actually have the yeah. Cammy would be. I don't know.
You have to squeeze it in here, didn't you?
He was there. You hold him up. I'll hold up Cammy. Since our whole display is just like we do have the Jada figures here, guys. So if you're interested, definitely.
Why you get to hold her and I don't?
Fine. You want to?
You
Jeez Louise, what a greedy bastard! No, he wants to
share the wealth.
He wants to. He wants to be happy. He's
I'm happier. I'm
he's in his
happier
happy
now.
zone. Anyway, I got DJ. I'm happy too. But yeah, we got these in stock, guys. So definitely,
Very nice.
You don't have to worry about Street Fighter. We got Street Fighter unlocked
All day.
Sherlock, her hair color is wrong. It isn't. It's not. I believe it's the comic book colors.
Talk about the Covergirl?
Yeah, Covergirl. Yeah. Sherlock, not a ninja. He's Destro's cousin. That would explain the mask.
Okay.
That would explain the mask. Crimson twin boots. Oh, you're right. You are right. I could have sworn they were Mindbender boots, but anyway, that's probably true. Sherlock, I think the cod piece is a backpack scabbard. Okay, cool. We're getting too fixated on certain things here. Deep torso, the figure can fit. Yep, there it is. Deep torso, the figure can sit inside.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a Gridiron That was it. Gridiron Studios. Thank you, Sherlock. See, I can always rely on Sherlock.
No shit, Sherlock.
Sci-Fi George says Gridiron as well. Zhao says Gridiron props. Absolutely.
That's where you get the. Yes.
I tried, brother. I tried my best. And Shay, hey guys, they have a picture of Ken from Storm Arena. Yes, we're going to take a quick look at that before we log off. Sorry, off topic. It's not off topic, brother. All right, so you know what? Let's go ahead and let's take a look really quickly as our last gimme of the day. We're going to go to because these are going to come in. Nobody has to worry about these. These are going to come in to TitanToys.com. But for
they'll
now,
probably go up tonight or by Monday.
For now, let's check EntertainmentEarth.com. Let's see if they're up there. So let's say Ken. I don't think so though. I think Storm is like exclusive.
The only
Storm.
I don't know if you want to go here.
I'll take a look, but hold on. Yeah, I don't think they are here. So who? Just a straight big. Yeah. All right, we'll check Big BBTS. He's right on the front page. I'm a human. I'm a human.
You actually get that?
I am a human. What the
that
heck? I am human. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, the new Master Universe Origins wave has come through, so I'm very excited about that. Definitely gonna have to do a quick view of that later, not today. But there's Ken. $29.99 for Ken. They got Grappler Baki. They've even got Zangief, but he's 112. He is 112. Wow. So this is the entire Storm Arena area, right?
I know that Zangief's from the original line, the first line.
It says 112.
Click on it. Well, all their figures say 112.
No, they don't. This is one. What's the heck? This is 112.
The regular Storm figures say 112. Well, actually, no, because the Alpha says 112. But look, it said. I think they're different.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for whatever reason, they're all
Storm Arena smaller.
You're right. Right.
But they are 112 as well.
Yeah.
But they're like a smaller 112.
You are right.
Something like
which is crazy. But they're 112. How can it be 112?
They're bigger than the Jada guys.
They're
right?
like, dude, they're not 7 inches. They're like 9 inches. It's so weird. It is such a weird scale that they use. But anyway,
their figures are sick. They're all nice, but they only fit with their stuff, right?
But for now, we do know that this Alpha 3 Ken
and the Baki there is also the same scale as this.
But you know what? But just for our own edification here, so let's check out Yeah, Baki's also 112. But let's check out Zangief and see how much he's.
I'm saying he's from the same line, the Storm Arena.
Yes, that's what I was saying. They're all 112. These are
no,
all.
but
112.
the Zangief there is not the same as the Storm Arena. They're different things.
Yeah, it's weird because he's definitely not coming up. Like I click on this one, he actually has a thing. Let me check. How much is this guy? That'll tell us right away. He's not up. I don't even know why they have him there. He's actually not even there. He is. You're right. He's $100. So he definitely is the original scale.
Yeah.
I don't know why they like. This is going to be confusing. You definitely have to look for Storm Arena.
They're gonna do the alpha, the alpha characters.
But it's got to be
right?
it's got to be Storm Arena. It has to say in the title Storm Arena.
That's what I'm saying. The Baki has that.
Yeah, you're right.
And this guy, right?
You're right.
Which means we will be buying them.
Absolutely. The face looks good.
Yeah.
I love the musculature as always. Alpha 3
I'm
can.
so excited. That means we're gonna see a Charlie probably.
We're gonna see all of them, man. Yeah. All the Alpha 3 characters. But he's got this side eye thing. I'm not really sure.
It's a thing nowadays.
I know, but the problem is he keeps looking at us, not the. He's looking at us as if he's gonna attack us or something. I don't know.
He's cocky.
That is so cool.
He's cocky.
He's got. Yeah, he's cocky, all right.
I love Ken was always the cocky fighter.
I know. Yeah, of course he was. But again, he doesn't. Why is he looking at me? Don't look at me. Look at the guy in front of you.
He's like, I'll kick your ass. I'm not even looking at you.
Oh my god. Very cool. I do like see look at that. That looks like a dead eye right there.
Yeah.
That looks like a dead eye. We're not ignoring the girls in the background. We're just
so he does a low blow too. That's his attack.
He's always about those low blows. You have to love the hurricane kicks. Love the oh, there it is. There's the Shoryuken. Look at that. That is some cool stuff right there. Oh my gosh.
I think they're gonna kill it. I think people are gonna they're gonna love this shit. So.
Very excited about this. That one actually looks pretty
He's
good.
like, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
He's having a good time.
Oh, he's having a good time. Look at me, girls. What? That's right. Very cool stuff. That's the
nice.
classic pose.
Yeah.
It's funny that they have Ken up, but they don't have Ryu. These two need to be a pair.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're practically married anyway.
Tupac.
He comes with a whole bunch of stuff. So he comes with the stand. He comes with the flame effect. And he comes with the peace sign, the come over here sign, and the fists and gripping hands. So pretty cool. And not bad for $26.99, Danny. I think he's not gonna last. He's gonna be pretty quick. So guys, if you're interested, we will have these in stock eventually. But if you can't wait for that, there's Big Bad Toy Store as always. But Canadians, just give us a little time. We'll definitely get there. Danny.
Yes.
It's been a great day.
100%.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Danny. It's been awesome. Can you just off the top of your head, what's going on at Titan Toys? Anything exciting, new stuff that we can look forward to?
We got a lot of new stuff. Off the top of my head, we got some Mega Man stuff coming from 3-0, right?
Nice.
Some Joes. We got what's the guy with Roadblock? Is it
Roadblock or Heavy Duty?
Heavy Duty. That's
Heavy Duty. Wow, we got Heavy Duty. Nice.
So
gonna have to do another walkthrough with you. It's gonna be fun.
So Heavy Duty and was it the Mecha Turtles, the Heat Boys,
nice.
the Donatello?
Heat Boys. Oh, Donatello Heat Boys.
That's so that just came in too. That's hot.
We're gonna do a full review of that, Danny.
Yeah,
that's what
you
we're gonna
got
do.
it. Right. So yeah.
Sweet. All right, guys. As always, if you want, you can definitely head over to TitanToys.com. They are we have everything not in stock, but everything that you need for action figures is definitely at our disposal.
Get on the pre-orders, guys. So you don't miss out.
The pre-orders are what's important.
Things sell out very fast.
They sell out incredibly quick. And of course, right now we have Mithra Action right at the top. Yeah, we got some brand new SH figure arts. Yeah, you can do the new 2-pack for Bone Crusher and Hook. Sorry, it's Long Haul and Hook. They look freaking amazing. Rom the Space Knight is in. Always good. And of course, all of those Ultimates figures. Giant Size X-Men, Infinity Gauntlets, Spider-Man. Great stuff. Avengers. We got some more Shadow, G.I. Joe Storm Shadow from it's a one-tailed statue. It's freaking crazy. Yeah. Oh, they got Splatoons.
Yeah,
crazy. Figma's doing Splatoon right now. We got Guts. We got Spider-Man's.
This Batman here is hot right now.
Look at that cape, Danny.
Yeah, People are going nuts
Look
for this
at
thing.
that freaking cape.
So,
Get on this one, guys.
yeah.
You don't want to. The LPZZ Batman, Arkham Knight Batman suit 8.04. This is straight from the video game, Batman Arkham Knight.
You got
God,
like
he
50
looks
orders
crazy.
already for this guy.
Look at this guy.
Believe it or not.
That is a face that only a mother could love. Oh my god. That is a
And
great
it's 112
suit.
scale.
112.
Whatever that means. I don't know. 6, 7. What does that mean? But
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But he looks sick. Guys, don't miss your chance on getting this Batman. He looks ridiculous. And
It's
he
hard.
can even look wonderful head sculpt. Looking really, really cool. We're gonna have to do a review of this one,
Oh, yeah.
Danny, for sure. This one's
that
gonna
is
go.
cool.
So, guys, definitely head over to TitanToys.com. If you spend $250 or more, you can earn free shipping on anything you could buy. Pre-orders as well. So definitely head over there, pick that up. We do have a buy now and pay later program, a reserve benefit. If you qualify, you can just pay exactly like you would with any layaway program. It's a really great opportunity to pick up figures at your discretion. And of course, we do have the Titan Toys hoarding program, which is very similar to Pile of Loot. So basically, buy as many figures as you can. You don't have to qualify for this, but buy figures, put them away, and eventually you can earn up to $250 of spending to get free shipping Canada and the US. Guys, definitely head over to TitanToys.com. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Titan Toys YouTube channel. We're doing some great videos every week. This is the 4th episode, or is it the 5th episode? I think it's the 5th episode. No, this is the 4th episode of Titans Talking Toys. We had our wonderful guests over from the Meta Travelers. It was a great show. The legendary Jeremy and, of course, Marco. Love those guys. Definitely check out Legendary and the Meta Travelers website. And, of course, Danny, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Anytime,
Danny's
bro.
been
Appreciate
absolutely great. Guys, follow Danny Green on his Instagram at
Yes.
Danny Green Collects. Use the code Danny Green on the Titan Toys to save. How much is it, Danny?
5%.
5% on Titan Toys. And of course, my name is Mega J Retro. Once again, thank you, Danny, for being here tonight. It's been an
Thanks for
absolute
coming.
pleasure.
Thanks for
Guys, I
having
hope
me.
you're all doing well, staying safe. Danny, any last words for everybody out there?
Just stay tuned for our next episodes, right? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the community. So thanks again.
Absolutely, guys. We hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. What is our sign off now, Danny?
I don't even know. We got to figure out like a gang sign thing.
I
or like
hope-
a, I
Just
don't
make
even know.
one up, Danny. Make one up. Go for it.
You do like this. You do like this Star Trek thing.
Right. Yeah, the lightning strike. It's like za za za.
Yeah, right. We'll figure it out as we go.
Well, guys, this is the Titans Talking Toys, and we will see you guys next time. Good journey, everybody.
Peace out, guys.
Be proud.